Well, this tournament continues to get better and better, and we're into the business end now where it's must-win territory for a few teams looking to qualify for the semi-finals. We'll see 6 teams in action today in what is the final day of preliminary action in this year's US Premier League. Carolina Eagles went down last night against the Golden Eagles in what was a nail-biting affair. Their tournament has come to an end, but it's a new start and new day. Absolutely gorgeous conditions out there for these 2 teams to work with. Relief for the Cowboys, who are yet to play a full game in this year's tournament because of all the rain that we've had. A look at what's to come then. Match 19, first up, the Mavericks against the Cowboys. The Patriots must win that game to have a chance. Titans at the top of the table. And then tonight, in prime time, match 21, the final game in the group stages, Phillies United take on the California Golden Eagles. This is what all the teams will be looking at as we go into today's fixtures. These 2 teams, especially for the Cowboys, it's must win. Mavericks will need to win and hope as well, but if they can get the 2 points, they go to 7 and will go to the top of the table. Very important. Every fixture is so important because of that early rain we had at the beginning of the tournament. Let's go down to Andrew Leonard, who's got the 2 captains.
Game day number 7. It's the final day of the group stages and the sun is out. Time for the toss. Maryland taking on the New York Cowboys in what's a virtual quarter-final, really. Jesse Singh, Jalad Dua, Danny Khan here. Jesse, you got the coin. Give it a toss. Tails is the call. Just about in time.
Traveling. Heads it is.
It's the head.
It's a head. Jesse, you've won the toss. Can you tell me what you're going to do and why, please?
We'll look to ball first. I think looking at the wicket, we see slight moisture in it early on at least. And based on yesterday's early morning game, we saw there was a bit of dampness in it. So the idea is to make the use of that early morning moisture in the first couple of overs and see if we can restrict them to the lowest total for us to go in and chase.
You've had a good tournament, plenty of promise, but you're in a position now where it's basically must win. If you win, you're into the semi-finals. If you don't, you're gone.
Yeah, I think it's a bit unfortunate for us not to get a couple of games in. But yeah, I think games like this, it's all about just stepping up to the occasion and doing the right thing. I think we're up for the challenge, and just one game at a time for us. It's just another game.
Okay, finally, any team news for me? Any changes to your starting 11?
Yeah, we have 2 changes. Smithy has gone back for the Legends League, and Kevin Stout comes in for him, and Supreet Madan comes in for Ray.
Jesse, best of luck. Nice to see you as always. Maryland winning the toss, choosing a bowl. Jalad, what would you have done? Would you have done the same?
Yes, we would have bowled.
Okay, why would that be?
Yeah, obviously, playing yesterday as well, we saw how the wicket was playing in the second innings. So yeah, that's why it'll be good to bat on the second innings.
You've certainly had a difficult campaign, but you're now in a position, if you keep winning, win today, win tomorrow, win Tuesday, you'll be champions. That is the goal, I presume.
Yeah, we'll just take one game at a time and we'll try to win this one.
Okay, finally, can you give me some team news, please?
Yeah, we have 2 changes. Gihan and Imran Raja out, and Gaurav Grover and Samar Tiwari in.
Jalad, best of luck today.
Thank you.
Okay, that's the news from the toss. Jesse Singh of the Maryland Mavericks, he's won the toss. He's going to bowl first.
Yeah, no surprises there, given what we saw yesterday. Could be something in it early. Look at the Cowboys side then. Have some important batting options in PNR, Milind Kumar. Fu was brilliant yesterday in that player of the match performance. Hamad Azam with his 6-hitting ability. However, their seamers will need to take wickets early. Mike Hazeman is alongside me. Mike, what can we make of the Maryland Mavericks?
Yeah, the Mavericks, it's such an important game for them, of course, because they really have to play well. They're going to rely on those senior players, and there's no Dwayne Smith. So Neil Broom is going to be really key. Jasdeep Singh, of course, as the captain, is going to be really important. And I think they're going to need some spin, and they've got to get some serious impact when the seamers start. That's obviously one of the really important things, because the middle order a little bit on the weak side, but they didn't play yesterday, so they need to make sure they hit the ground running when they're playing this all-important game today.
2 strong teams who need to win well. Earlier, Mike, you were out in the middle looking at conditions. Let's see what the players have to work with today.
First of all, I just want everyone to know the ground staff were here till midnight last night, making sure this track was going to be absolutely fine for today. So that's 14, along with Milton, 14 of the ground staff here to get it right. And it looks terrific. I'm just going to pace out an area here, 5 meters from the base of the stumps. Let me just have a look. 2, 3, 4, 5. As I've done that, I've had a look at that surface as well. I've been out here for a while, and I think all that is really nice. You'll see there's a nice sheen to this in a sec. But I do want to point out 1 or 2 little areas which I think are going to come into play. I paced out 5 meters because there's an area which is in line with middle and off. Now that's for a bowler bowling from the commentary box end to a right-hander batsman, 5 meters. How big is the area he's got to hit? It's this area I'm talking about here. It's about the size of a dinner plate. So that's going to give you an idea as to what that area is. Now, if I just go down for starters, that might be the spinners into play there, but you know what? It's allowed to happen. We had 3 T20 games here yesterday, so there is some wear and tear, and we know this area was certainly a little bit damp yesterday. Today it looks fine. It's not damp. It might be a little bit slow initially, might be a little bit sticky initially, but it's got to be ready for the 3 games, of course. That's the important thing. What I want to show you, that area there, what's the result of it? There's an area that I can look at just to the side, which I can actually touch. It's a little bit like this. It's just a little bit crumbly. It's quite dry in that one little area. So I think it might just come into play a little bit if the bowlers get their line right, and that's going to be the crucial thing. But I think overall, this surface is going to be pretty good. I think the guys are going to enjoy it. Yeah, it's a little bit slow initially. The spinners will come into play as the game goes on, of course. There is a 20% chance of rain, scattered showers, a little bit later in the day. So they've got to watch out for that. But we are set to go for the first game, which we all know is such an important game now in the table. I'm happy with this. Good. Well done, boys.
Thanks very much, Mike. Really intrigued to see how that surface plays, but one thing that teams have had to consider is that wind factor. You can see sometimes it comes from the west, other times from the east. Sort of a swirling wind, so something for bowlers to think about as we go on in the day. Openers out in the middle, Jaladua to Jinder Singh. Mike Hazeman still here. Mike, this is a huge game for these 2 teams.
Yeah, it really is. I mean, the top 3 in the table are settled. The rest of the games today are going to be about the positions in that semi-final story. But this is a knockout game, basically. You win, you stay up, and you're in that semi-final. You lose, you pack your bags, you look forward to next year. I just want to point out something. Now, both the captains made a reference to how damp the track was yesterday morning. Yes, we know it was very damp yesterday morning. But I don't know. I mean, they also said that's why they're bowling. It's nothing like yesterday morning. Let's make that loud and clear. Nothing like yesterday morning. It's not damp at all. This track is absolutely fine. Yes, it'll be on the slow side, and as I said, it might be a little bit sticky initially, but it's the first game, and it's been under covers from midnight last night till 7 o'clock this morning. So the captain's referring to the fact that they saw it was really soft last night and lots of dampness in it. Is totally wrong the way they've read the pitch first up. That's my call.
Yeah, Jaladua had a good start yesterday. Has that boundary hitting ability as well as Tajinder Singh. He's had that IPL experience for the Kings 11 Punjab side. That 24 from 14 deliveries yesterday really set the pace in that innings in what was a win, a much needed win.
I do think one thing we've seen so far in this USPL is that you've got to have good stands at the top. Teams that have had good stands at the top, and also for the first and second wicket, are the guys that have actually gone on to get good scores. If wickets have tumbled right at the top and suddenly they're 3 for 30 or 3 for 40, then it's put pressure on that middle order, and that has been a major issue, and guys have had to rescue right towards the end to scramble to 130, 140. This guy's a class act. I've always liked the way he's gone about his cricket. I like the way he runs up. I like the way he delivers. I like his pace. I like his competitiveness. He will be key today for the Mavs.
All right, all set then. Last day of preliminary action in this year's USPL. It is a massive day. Ball 1. Here we go. Immediately a bit of shape, but that is not phased Jaladua, who's underway with a boundary.
Well, he's clearly going to look to tee off. He likes to do that. He's an aggressive batsman at the top. It was in the slot, over pitch. Yeah, a little bit of movement. But he picked that up early and just sliced it over the top. That's the important thing. Didn't go head height. It was nice and high. So that's a good start, boundary.
Goes much shorter.
Let's have a look at the first delivery. Yeah, a little bit of swing. Now, we talk about the fact that the new ball is really important in T20 cricket. Effort swinging. The bowler's got that benefit, the ball swing around. You've got to make the most of it. There's a slip in place. Jesse Singh, predictably, I suppose, making sure the next one was fairly short after the boundary.
Yeah, and just speaking to some of the players yesterday, Mike, with these balls, the ball is not swinging after the first 2 overs. So it's really important that you get your best swing bowler bowling early. You saw Zia-ul Haq last night, Jasdeep Singh now, but after those 2 overs, it becomes a real challenge on this surface in the power play.
That was that backup delivery above shoulder height for the keeper, who's not the tallest. Stephen Wiggs, another one. He was swinging the ball also.
I think that's a perfect example, because you look at Wig, when the ball was swinging, he was much fuller. As soon as it stopped swinging, he was able to just pull his length back and go to that scramble seam, and it's worked for him across the tournament. So that's an example for bowlers to take. Excellent, excellent line first up to Singh.
Yeah, let's focus on this swing, the shape. The line was good. Just a little bit of movement away. Yeah, terrific. That's outstanding work from Jesse Singh.
He's wide of the crease as well to create that more pronounced angle.
I mean, what that does straight away is just puts a little doubt in the batsman's mind, and that might have actually been a bit more seam rather than swing, because he did go wide of the crease, as Nikhil spotted.
Beats the outside edge again. How much, Mike, of a factor will it be that this Cowboys team haven't really played a full 20-over game yet in the tournament?
A big factor. I think it is a big factor. Yeah, they have had some shortened games because of the rain. They've got to make sure that they structure it properly. Certainly wasn't behind that at all and missed it by some distance. So a bit of seam and swing after it past the batsman. But showing all 3 sticks too.
This has been a brilliant first over from Jasdeep Singh after going for the boundary early. 5 for none. Yeah, look at the Cowboys. They've got some power in that lineup, you know. Jacob Espina, Fu, Hamad Azam especially.
And yeah, Pinar's a key player, but of course he can't get there too early as far as I'm concerned. The guys on top need to do some work here. That first over was really good after the first ball. And that's the way it's going to be for only a couple of overs. So it's all about just making sure they stay out there for a couple of overs and make sure they survive if the balls from Jesse Singh in particular are threatening. Milan Kumar, we haven't seen the best of him. Now, I saw him a few weeks ago and he was timing the ball unbelievably. We haven't seen the best of him by far so far in this tournament, but I think he might be a big player in today's game because it is such an important match.
It will be Ronaldo Ali Mohammed from the other end. Much slower than Jasdeep Singh.
What a top name.
Yeah, I'm really intrigued today, Mike, to see how Jasdeep Singh uses Kevin Stout. He's been impact player for the last couple of games and has bowled a couple overs, hasn't batted. But with Dwayne Smith now not in the team, someone of his experience could be integral to what they do in what is almost a knockout game.
Yeah, he looks like a fine player, Kevin Stout, in the background. He's someone who could grab this opportunity. He's that talented. A little bit of movement in towards the batsman now.
Yeah, no deep cover in place. Jaladua favors that offside.
Yeah, it looks like there's no secret as to what he's going to be looking to do. Anything that's pitched up, and he recognises he's going to try and take full toll. Both times he's gone back at a square on the offside when he was looking to drive a lot straighter, but he won't mind too much.
Yeah, there's some discussion now in terms of the field set because Ronaldo Ali Mohammed seems like he wants the deep cover. We've seen Jaladua hit 2 boundaries and both of them in that region. And he will get the deep cover now, so third comes into the circle. He's going to challenge Jaladua if the ball is going away from him to find another area to hit a boundary. Also, fine leg comes a lot squarer now to backward square.
It's good aggressive fielding. That inner ring is really important if the bowlers are going nicely at the start of an innings. Be nice and aggressive in that inner ring, particularly on the offside. You're going to do most of the work. Make sure you're coming in quickly. Try and stop those singles, as was done on that occasion. Get the ball back to the keeper quickly. Make the batsman feel as though he's up against a formidable team.
Wasn't quite ready. Has a few seam options today. Jesse Singh. You look at someone like Shivam Ranjane, who's probably been the pick of the bowlers for them. I'm interested to see how Nosh Kenjiga is used, but also how he bowls. He's been expensive, the left-arm spinner, uncharacteristically so. Now he has added protection to go to that fuller length with that deep cover fielder. What do you think, Mike? I saw you out there for the pitch report. What is that ideal length to bowl for the seamers today?
I think initially they should be looking to do what they're doing at the moment and try and swing the ball as much as possible. Now, he was going with the attempted Yorker with this delivery, and most of his deliveries come back in towards the right-handed batsman, which is not going to give Dua the opportunity to go launching square on that offside like he has done previously. And then there's going to have to be adjustments when that swing is stopped, because the ball, in literally 3 or 4 overs only, then it's going to be that sort of a length. That's intelligent bowling as well, because you saw him looking to advance. 2 men outside the circle only. That's when these opening batsmen can take advantage. Good stuff from Ronaldo. Ali Mohammed. Can I throw in Tiger there as well, do you think?
Too short. And it's been pummeled into the leg side. Yeah, Tajinder Singh much capable of that and more. 16 for none. What an enormous strike in that last over from Tajinder Singh.
Not tempted to go down at all to meet the bowler, but the length was ideal for that sort of shot, just a swivel shot. Nicely played, good connection. Seen some pretty good timing so far.
will get into the boundary. It races into the boundary.
So this might start bothering the captain a little bit, Jesse Singh, because boundaries are being scored. Going at 10 and over, he will know that if they pick up a wicket and break this stand, that's going to change things dramatically. But waltzing down the track and not getting it anywhere near where he wanted to go, not for the first time so far. But he won't mind, he'll just bank that boundary.
It's so hard on this surface in the power play. I mean, he can't plan for a ball off the toe. He's got deep point as that deep fielder in the offside, Singh. And it's for that length there because it gives him options. Naturally, we'll get the ball to shape away, and we've seen how strong Dua is when there's width.
Certainly doing the right thing by keeping that slip in position. This is the first over he bowled. Really good work from Jasdeep Singh after the boundary of the first ball. Look at these deliveries. Outstanding work. 3 stumps are being showed most of the time. Good late movement. Couple swinging and a couple seaming.
Every time he's starting the ball on that off stump line and getting it to move away, Jaladu has been unable to score.
And that's largely because he's not getting in line. Look at him, the line is going down on that occasion. Most of the shots he's trying to spar at, he's sparring from around about middle and leg. You've got to look to play him as the ball's swinging away. You've got to make sure you're in line with the ball so that your head's over the line of the ball. Singh is all over him at the moment.
Yeah, I mentioned it a couple overs ago. Nosh Kenjige for me is going to be the key. This is a used surface. We've had 3 games yesterday on it. And yes, the ball is hard now. But I just wonder in those middle overs, as I get softer, how much the spinners come into the game. And Kenjige is a USA international bowler. A left arm finger spinner. Even if you can maybe risk getting him in the power play now with 2 right-handers there. Because he does bowl the new ball in international cricket.
I would think that Ovis Pinar has got to do a similar job also for the Cowboys. Get him in nice and early. He's been used far too late for my liking when they've been in the field as well.
Good over again. Similar to the first. Concedes a boundary and then just 1 run. 21 for none. Yeah, it is a strong Mavericks lineup. They'll miss Dwayne Smith, who's departed for other duties. Means maybe a move for Sateja Mukamala to the top of the order. Neil Broom has been good there. First order of business, though, will be the bowling effort. It will still be Ronaldo Ali Mohammed.
How often it is when someone departs or someone leaves the scene that it opens a gap for someone else and they excel. That's where an opportunity is presented. So someone should grab that opportunity and really do a good job with the bat and cover that base of Smith. Other way that time. Good movement away. He was concentrating on moving the ball in towards the right-handed batsman up until now, but that one swung quite a bit. Now that slipper's departed. He's out. Still can allow only 2 players outside the circle. It's 6 overs the power play.
Yeah, just a little too straight from Ali Mohammed, and leg by is given. And runs are flowing here.
You got to wonder, is he just trying a little bit too much? his line was okay. There was nothing wrong with his line previously, but he bowled that away swinger. It was wide, then he's overcompensated, and this one's just gone a little bit leg side. I think he needs to initially stay with what is his normal trade, which is that sort of delivery, but make sure he gets that line right like he was previously. Coming onto the bat quite nicely. There's no stopping the surface at the moment.
More runs. It's well timed. Imperious from Dua, who's shown us power today.
So there's confirmation about what I was saying about this pitch. You can't play that sort of shot if the ball is not coming onto the bat. It's got that sheen about it, this surface. And when you do see a sheen at this ground, you'd know that the groundsman's happy with the preparation. Puts that sheet of plastic on and rolls the roller on that plastic to get that sheen, something they do in Jamaica. Sabina Park in the old days, in the 80s. I reckon that the batsman used to arrive and against the likes of Michael Holding, you can see the reflection of the face, often white, of the batsman looking to face against Holding, knowing that in those days he could get excessive bounce. Now, one of the common traits, and it happens in a lot of the grounds in Jamaica, is the fact that there's 80 to 85% clay content of the tracks at Sabina Park and throughout most of the surfaces around Kingston Town and Jamaica, and it's the same here. That's why they can provide that sheen. There he is, Milton. Have a sleep, sir. Midnight last night he was here. Back here this morning at 7 o'clock. Every day they've been here at 7 o'clock. The night before, by the way, they were here till 1 o'clock getting things organised. They'll be exhausted. But it wasn't just him, it was 14 other guys with him. His entire team was with him last night and most nights. That's nicely bowled. That length is just ideal. Plans for this pitch are to see how it goes today. If it survives the 3 games today in the sunshine, that's the important thing. And we might use it for the semi as well. There was thought of moving back to the other pitches for the semi and the final. So this was at one stage going to be the last one, but maybe not. Perhaps might just move back to the other one where we had 370 runs scored in the last game there for the final.
Yeah, I'm watching Jasdeep Singh. I'm interested to see if he risks a 3rd over in the power play, trying to maximize this hard new ball, which is swinging for him. Does have some other options. Ranjani, as we mentioned, Fani Samadri is another pace option. I thought that was the line he would have gone to a bit early in the over. 31 without loss. Beautiful day for action. Can get quite chilly as we are into the winter season here in the United States. That minimum temperature of 18 degrees, but the wind has been quite powerful here the last couple of days. Something that bowlers have used, the batters have had to try and plan for. Will be a bowling change. Shubham Ranjani, been the best bowler for this Mavericks team in the tournament, now into the attack.
Yeah, good work from Jasdeep Singh for starters. Couple of overs, none for 10. A little bit unlucky he didn't pick up a stick.
It's a huge day for these two teams, especially them, the Cowboys. It's a must win, and that was a big win for them yesterday in that 10-over fixture against the Patriots. One stage they looked down and out. Milind Kumar left of screen is drew some runs, padded up to come next. It's been a good improvement in length against Jaladua. You struck those two maximums, or sorry, boundaries when they were very full and wide. Now they've started on that middle stump and got the ball to just shape away. They've kept him quiet. He's 20 from 20.
Yeah, it's a good start. Nice work. His areas are terrific. Just a little bit of movement away. That ball was still quite new. So he hit that seam. It's just going to do a little bit off this surface.
Deep cover in place. Mike Hazeman, I heard last night on commentary, you mentioned you were backing the Australian side to win the World Cup. They're not too far away.
Yeah, I'm concentrating on this one, so I don't know what the score is at the moment. I'll see if I can get an update as soon as we've got 2 more balls to go here. But yeah, I understand that. I did hear someone say in the comm box here that Travis Head has picked up a century. So that's pretty impressive.
Much like that stroke work for deep cover to do. You can see how much work that fielder has had to do. Almost a chance of a run out if there was a better throw. Saved a lot of boundaries having that protection.
Yeah, just a cursory glance towards that fielder. Not quite the strength they're expecting. Had it been stronger, it would have been a magnificent throw, and of course they might have affected something, but I think he knew at the time when he released he wasn't balanced enough to get enough power behind it.
Straight through him. Ranjane continues to pick up really important breakthroughs for the Mavericks. Captain Jaladua, they built pressure, and this is the result.
Yeah, it's been a good build-up. Good first over. Just knocking back that off stump. He's been allowing the bowlers to look at those 3 sticks a lot of the time. At least 2 stumps most of the time. So getting that through and hitting back that off stump is really important. They were doing quite nicely, actually, the opening pair, but Dua's gone for 22 off 22, 36 for 1.
So 36 for 1 the score, and this is, well, I think for the New York Cowboys a dream scenario, because given the quality of tournament that they have had, I don't think they played anything near their capacity or ability, but their equation is simple: win today, go to a semi-final tomorrow, and given how they've played on the whole, I think they'd have taken that, particularly yesterday. Andrew Leonard here with you. Suhas Bedham has joined me. Suhas, great to have what is in essence a virtual quarter-final to start off the day.
Absolutely right. What a good start as well for New York Cowboys. Just losing a wicket at the last delivery. Now Kenjige introduced is one bowler who was actually disappointed a little bit for what he usually does and brings to the table. 4 matches, just 1 wicket. That economy of 11 is not something that Kenjige is known for. They decided to attack him right away. Good work by Ravindrapal Singh, who anticipated that the ball had not been timed too well. Milan Kumar can time the ball now, will be facing his first.
Yeah, I fully agree. I thought his last spell, I think it was 3 overs, number 33, was a particularly poor one given how good a cricketer he is. Don't think he's read or assessed the conditions particularly well in what has been at points on the pitch we were playing on for that spell. Very helpful towards the spinners. I think he's bowled too flat. Don't think he's shown his array of turning deliveries and the control that he usually offers. A really interesting case. He's never played a T20I for the United States. Born here in Alabama. And despite never playing a T20I for the United States, he's been drafted into the T10 League. He'll go to that, I think that's in Abu Dhabi, starting in a week or 10 days or so. So maybe he'll use that and what could be a good finish to the USPL to press his case for that World Cup spot next year.
Just get a feeling that he's too good a player to be missing out on so many opportunities altogether. The law of averages works the other way too. Slip in place now. Very good delivery. There hasn't been much turn, but whatever is available, he's able to tie Milan down for the moment. Shubham Ranjane hitting the top of off. In fact, it was a pretty straight ball. I thought it did a little bit after pitching. It didn't. Milan's off the mark.
Yeah, that replay kind of showed it was just a big gap, wasn't it, between bat and pad for Jaladua. He's had an indifferent campaign. I think he's worn the weight of the captaincy quite heavily. He said to me this morning before the toss, he said, "Good morning." I said, "Lovely to see you with a smile on your face." He said, "It's the first day I can smile after yesterday's win." He's just, some people, when they take the captaincy, it does affect their batting, and I just wonder, has that done that for Jaladua? It's over to his teammates now. He got them off to a good start, 22 he made. The game hangs in the balance with one ball of the power play left.
Last ball of the power play, made full use of it with an inside-out shot. Tajinder connects. Tajinder gets 6. 6 gone, 44 for 1.
If you're interested in the World Cup, Australia 214 for 3. 27 needed out of 72 balls.
Maryland Mavericks number 4, New York Cowboys number 6. The Mavericks need to win this to advance. Time for the second power play. Ranjane is looking confident after his first wicket. I thought Jaladua committed to a different kind of a shot altogether. Thought the length would be different. The ball didn't bounce as much as he expected either. This is a good delivery. Ranjane has been attacking the stumps a little more today.
Look at how flat that is from Kenjigate. The whole way from the delivery. Look at it, arcing straight down. As a consequence, he's not giving the ball the opportunity to drift or to turn. It's just darted in. He's better than that for me. And the pace we'd see him bowl in ODI cricket would be more threatening. I don't think he's assessed the conditions well.
Good adjustment by Shubham Ranjane once again. Tajinder wanted to advance. The keeper suggesting that he's looking leg side-ish. Very wide long on. That's because Tajinder loves to go that way. And he can go straight as well. Something's unlocked in Tajinder today, and it's a beautiful thing to watch.
You cannot bowl this length if you're going to have mid-off up in the circle. 50's up. Close to a half volley. Mid-off up, so he takes on the stroke. He gets enough of it to get 6 anyway. You can't bowl that full outside of the power play with mid-off up in the circle. Now he's going to go back. Deep third is going to come up into the circle, and now long off goes back, but that is after the horse has bolted, sadly.
Gently tap it and pick up a single. Respecting the field change there, adjusting accordingly. He'll be seen in action if utilized as an impact player as well. I think it adds a great strategic dimension to the game, the impact player role. The cross-seam delivery seems to work for Ranjane more.
Yeah, I'm a bit more old school on the impact player myself. Just as a player, I don't mean it from as a watcher or an administrator. I'd feel robbed if I wasn't able to go in and try to club a few down the order. I was always number 8, number 9, sometimes number 10 in the order. I love my bowling more than anything, but I wanted to go in and show them I could bat too. I don't want to be the impact one.
Single to end the over with. We'll give the chat live. 53 for 1. .53 for 1 in 7 overs. We were discussing the impact player. Andrew made a point that he's someone who subscribes to the old school thought that is to not have an impact player or a rule of that kind. The road to the final. The first position will play the fourth, and second and third will collide as well. The winners will play the semi-finals and then the grand finale. 21st November 2023. Mark your calendars.
I'll tell you something, Suhas. The Cowboys would have taken any one of those 4 slots, particularly yesterday morning. They were close to dead and buried, but spurred on by a motivational speech by one of their co-owners. He said, we're going to win today. This was yesterday. He said, we're going to win tomorrow, which is today. Bowls him straight through. And this time, it just skids on, and Millen maybe wasn't watching the previous over. No real turn from Kenjige. Finally, one of America's best spinners strikes, and he gets into the contest with a big wicket.
Excellent delivery. I think he was waiting for the turn. It just didn't. Going on with the angle, surprising Millen. It's not Kumar, it's Kenjige who has the last laugh. Knows the importance of this wicket as well. And the importance of this wicket for himself too. A lot of confidence for Kenjige. Not so much for Milind Kumar. 307, 53 for 2. .53 for 2. Over spinner, best of 40. They need more than that from him today in New York Cowboys. Overs is off the mark. But Kenjige has found the right line and length. just enough to confuse if the ball is going to turn or is it going to come in with the angle. Millen got the latter.
Himself in a horrible tangle, didn't he? There wasn't a ball in that first over, maybe one that just held a little bit. All of them were skidding on. He should have anticipated that. Again, it's very flat through the air. Just got himself in a horror show tangle. Kenjige celebrates, but it's relief as much as anything. I'm not sure it's the skill of the bowling that's affected that wicket, but it gives him something to work with.
That's a very good shot. Will get 4 for it. Sweeper cover cannot get to it. Tajinder's timing is just improving as this innings progress. 26 of 15 now.
This is something you see so rarely in white ball cricket. Left arm spin over the wicket to a right-hander. Not sure why Kenjige's gone here.
It's the first time he's chosen to bowl with that angle in on the legs. Surprising that Kenjige decides to go defensive.
Well, it's beyond defensive. You cannot get an LBW. It's well close to impossible unless you really got it so full. So you're immediately taking one of the dismissals out of play. To a certain extent, you're probably taking bowled out of play. The pads will be in the way. It's just going to be easy for Tajinder to knock it around, 1s and 2s, pick up the occasional boundary. Don't understand this at all. Really don't. You've just got a wicket in the over. Back yourself, back your skills. Try to find another.
Robert spinner. It's going to be a change in angle. Didn't bounce as much. Is that an indication of what is to come on the surface as well? Pinar collects a single to retain strike. 62 for 2 after 8.
Yes.
.62 for 2 in 8 overs. That's the men in yellow over here. What about the men in yellow playing the World Cup right now?
They're on the brink. Don't want to say there was a sense of inevitability about this in Ahmedabad, but it's so hard to keep winning. I know that sounds counterintuitive. You think winning breeds winning, but to win 11 on the bounce at a World Cup, even on home soil with that incredibly partisan home crowd that they will have, over 100,000 dressed in blue, it's just so difficult. Ireland in the Rugby World Cup learnt this the hard way. They'd won 17 in a row, building in as the world's #1 ranked team to that World Cup quarter-final, and then naturally it was a defeat by the barest of margins to New Zealand they went down to. It seemed inevitable.
There were a lot of questions asked for Australia as they began this tournament. Adam Zampa not in form, even in South Africa. Missing Ashton Agar, perhaps Travis Head wasn't available in the earlier part of the tournament. Despite all that, they found the winning mojo and never let go of it. Struggling against Afghanistan, and Maxwell provides something magical for the world to see. Now on the brink of what will be a very famous World Cup win for them. Another feather in that hat. And Pat Cummins' captaincy has just gone better and better.
Yeah, and just 2 final thoughts on it for me. It is game over. It's 11 to win off 57. Travis Head is the hero, 129 not out. 2 more thoughts. Firstly, that call from Pat Cummins to bowl first, how big is that? You often think runs on the board in a World Cup final. That's extraordinarily brave. But then to battle back from 50 for 3 to chase down this total, it looks like they're going to win by 7 wickets. They have the pedigree. Think of Australian World Cups. They only know how to win.
Making room but not finding the gap. Half the battle won. 3 dot balls strung together. Simhadri is so effective beyond the power play. That's what we've been harping about. Use Simhadri at the right time.
One final thought as well. You look at South Africa's campaign. They looked the best side in the tournament early, didn't they? But again, it's their history, their World Cup history, that is counted against them. And you cannot help but think that that factor hangs over them so heavily. If this was a bilateral series, you'd probably have backed South Africa to win that semi-final. It's not. And just like the final for India here, I know they've won World Cups in 2011 and 1983, but they will have to wait. And they'll have to wait for 4 more years, ironically, down in South Africa. Maybe that's when the curse will lift of those semi-final runs.
Big appeal. I think it was bad first. Yes, indeed. Simhadri strikes as well. Why did Pinar have to play that shot on a surface that's skidding a little bit, even more so with Simhadri's awkward action?
He's so effective, isn't he, Fanny Simhadri? And Obus Pinar, by his standards, has had a poor tournament. This could be his last innings if the Cowboys don't win. And a good decision. Well, it's hit him, what? On the shin, isn't it? Certainly not going over the top. It's pitched in line. Good decision for me. And Simhadri's stock continues to rise in American domestic cricket. Outstanding from him. He's gone for 4, 64 for 3.
Australia 111 balls to 54.
64 for 3 with the ball to go to finish the 9. Jonathan Poo has joined Tajinder. He's a player of the match last night, wants to continue that form. Yesterday, Jonathan Poo walked away with some silverware. Today, needs to provide an innings of that kind because New York Cowboys want this win desperately. What an over it's been for Simhadri. Creating pressure with the 3 dot balls first up. And a dot ball to finish. Superb over from Simhadri. 9 gone, 64 for 3. .64 for 3 in 9 overs. Jalal Dua got a good start today, but unfortunately got out to a very straight ball. Tajinder Singh still out there, the surviving opener. Milind got a brilliant delivery from Kenjige that he had no clue about. Pinar was the last to go with a sweep shot that did not connect at all. Grover, Samarth, there is some batting to come. Hopefully better shot selection too.
2 big overs these. It looks like Kenjige might actually bowl his 4 on the bounce. This is his 3rd consecutively from the pavilion end. It's not necessarily a wicket he needs from these 2 overs. Keep it tight and start to apply some pressure. If he can do that, I think Maryland will continue to move into the ascendancy. This was beautiful bowling.
Simhadri loves the cutters this time. Straight onto the middle stump. That would have cannoned. Tajinder wants to attack and will. Oh well. It's Saiteja Mukamalla. Shan cannot believe it, but he's quite content that Tajinder is put down. Nosh cannot believe it because he saw the 2nd wicket walk towards him.
Well, look at the contrasting emotions between the fielder and the co-owner of the Cowboys up in the crowd. That was a dolly, I'm sorry. You have to catch that. Not 9 times out of 10, 10 times out of 10. It's his international teammate too, Saiteja Mukamala. He's done everything right and he's grasped it. I'm not sure how, and look at that. Oh, he knows how big that is. Tajinder has a life pumped up in the stands.
Oh, this close. This is very close. And the slow death is given. Jonathan will not open his account. Kenjige knows that a wicket can't evade him. If it's not Tajinder, Jonathan will go.
Well, paint me a picture of 2 owners in the same frame. You see it there. Ecstasy and agony, or agony and ecstasy, depending upon which way you're looking at it. This is a beauty, so much better from Kenjige. He's got it up to then drift and turn. There's a lesson for every young spinner. Give the ball a chance to turn. That is pitched in line, impacted in line, and it's going to go on a hit in line. And Kenjige finally, much to the delight, well, he's done everything but rub it in his face, isn't he? Big, big wicket. Fu, the player of the match yesterday, he's gone for a second ball duck. It's 65 for 4.
To win every game. Australia weren't even going to make this series. You still around?
Australia won 3 out of 45.
Yeah, a very quick start for the Cowboys, but in the last couple overs, the Maryland Mavericks have fought their way back into the game. And mainly through their left arm spin option in Noshtush Kenjige. It's been well supported by Ranjane and Samadri. All 3 of those bowlers in the wickets. Hello, Mike Hazeman.
Nikhil, how are you going? 3 for 12 in no time. That's what they've lost. That's how things suddenly have gone south for the Cowboys. Kenjige's been terrific. I reckon he's bowling on that dinner plate, that wicket he just picked up. The dinner plate that I was putting down my pitch report. I reckon he hit exactly that area that I was talking about, that dry area, which is just 5 meters from the base of the stumps, in line with middle and off. Or just about middle stump, actually. It just hit that, straightened, and picked up that stick.
I think Kenjige could easily bowl out his 4 here, his full quota, the way he's gone about things today. Tajinder Singh is still there though. It's been well hit in that extra cover region. Good way to end the 10th, 70 for 4.
I just want to have a look at that last wicket that went down. That's exactly where I had my dinner plate in my pitch report. I was pointing out an area which is only the size of a dinner plate, which is nice and dry. And if the spinners were going to hit that area, we're certainly going to straighten. And that's what Kenjigi's done on that occasion.
Yeah, Fani Samadri, who picked up that wicket in the last of bowl, I always thought he would be menacing on these surfaces because of that two-pace nature and that low arm action. Tajinder Dylan Singh holds the key.
Yeah, just to emphasize that spot I'm talking about, this is the size of the dinner plate. I have brought one out which told us exactly the spot. So 5 meters from the base of the stumps. You can see even the color around it. It's the rest of the area is quite dark. There's this dry there as well. It's just crumbling a fraction, but it's allowed to have that wear and tear because they had 3 games there yesterday. So it's allowed to do that. So if someone hits in that sort of area in line with that middle stump, then it's just going to straighten up and turn quite sharply. Just checked his shot at the last minute. Clever bowling.
I think all of the 9 deliveries he's bowled has been on the stumps. And he's gotten a few to keep low. I wonder how that, if he hits that dinner plate length there, Mike, how that will affect Dylan. This was the LBW of Fu. He's missed his line there just as we've praised him.
That's a great shot. That'll give things a nice little spurt. Got to get things back on track here. Halfway marker's done. Shots like this will certainly help their cause. They've lost 4 wickets. If they continue at this rate, their target will be 144. They need to get a few more than that, I think, on this track in these sort of conditions.
Much better. Naturally, with that angle, we'll get the ball to go across. But that Yorker, he does get it to tail back in from over the wicket into the right-hander, which is why it's so dangerous. Haven't really seen him go to it yet.
And that change of pace. Ball not coming onto the bat. Got to be very selective in his shots.
8 from the over, 78 for 4. Well, the World Cup, and what a prestigious tournament it's been. It's been won by Australia, the team that Mike Hazeman and I don't usually take credit for those things, but we both, Mike, selected Australia to win.
And what a World Cup final it was. I mean, it was quite extraordinary. The bowling from India at the start of this innings from Australia was really intense, but Travis Head, magnificent 100. So a couple of things. Travis Head was brought back into the lineup. He was injured, of course, stayed in Australia, came back, and they allowed him to come back. That was fine. Also, Labuschagne, he wasn't even in the reckoning of the entire squad, and he played superbly, got some really important runs at the end with Travis Head. But it's just about this temperament, really. That's gone for 4. Nice start to the over. The temperament from the Australians, I think, I mean, it's just unbelievable the way they win these big games. Amazing stuff from them.
He set a few boundaries in that extra cover region today, Singh, and they placed the man specifically there, but the way he's timing the ball, even though there was a fielder there, he had no chance. He's racing to the boundary. Outfield's been quick. He does well, save the boundary. And just to build on your point about Head, when he left the World Cup, he said I'm leaving the World Cup and I'm coming back in a few days to win it. He literally said that after their first 3 games, that I'm coming back to win the World Cup. He lived up to his words and performed on the biggest of stages. Only the 3rd Australian to score 100 in a World Cup final, joining Gilchrist and Ponting. You were there in that 2003 World Cup final to see Ricky Ponting score that 100.
And Damien Martin as well. Both got centuries. Magnificent century from Ponting.
And these teams will hope that they can be in the USPL final in 2 days' time. Both will need to win this game if they want to enhance their chances. Big mix-up and gone. Terrible. Exactly what you didn't want if you were the Cowboys, because it's Tajinder Singh who's going to be going back. He can't believe it.
Well, there must have been some sort of discussion before that delivery about pushing into the covers perhaps and getting him back on strike. Reason being because he was out of the block so quickly. Tajinder Singh. We'll just get confirmation of this run out. He was out by Miles, but the pace of this delivery through the air was very slow, so there was no pace whatsoever to do anything with it. So that was just outstanding fielding and brilliant work from the fielder as well, the bowler, to get behind the stumps. Did he happen to break the stumps with his forearm? That's quite interesting. We'll just have a look at that again, I think. Got to make sure the ball was in his hand before that did happen. It can be in his hand and then the forearm going in the stumps and it's out. He's got control there. It doesn't have to be the hand onto the stumps. Yeah, I think that's fine. Yep, that's fine. Absolutely fine. But there's confirmation. Nice shot from the other side to let us know that that's the deal. There was certainly ball in the hand, onto the stumps, and 3 red letters.
Hassan Khan comes to the middle. Good strike rate in this series. Nosh Kenjigi, though, the way he's bowled, the pressure he's put on the Mavericks, you could think, oh, that is not good, but luckily there is backup. You just think the pressure that Kenjigi has applied has almost inflicted that run out.
Yeah, that's right. He's been changing his pace through the air really nicely. Occasionally he's been very slow, like he did with the wicket delivery. That last ball also was really slow through the air. He's getting some purchase. That's the important thing. If you're a young spinner, you've got to try and give the ball a nice rep. That is a beauty. A little bit flatter that time. Just going past the outside edge. Successful over, done. 12 gone. 87 for 5.
Yeah, again, these collapses has been something that they've been susceptible to, the Cowboys. Happened a few games now where they've had a really good start and then lost their way. To their credit, though, they haven't really had much experience playing the full 20 overs. It's been a couple 5-over games, a 10-over game yesterday. Now, last delivery of the last over, that stayed low. We're only in the first game of 3 today. Only seen one spinner use as well, but that definitely kept low, Mike Hazeman.
Yeah, it did. Adjustment from the keeper as well to make sure that he got down low enough. Jesse Singh back in. Bowled nicely first up, a couple of overs, just conceded 10 runs. Can't take any risks at the moment, that's for sure. These guys, they've got to make sure they get a little bit of a partnership going. Last wicket went down with 85 on the board. They've just added 4 runs at this stage. That was a run out, the last one. Let's have another look at that. Slow through the air, no power, no energy off that ball to work it on the offside. That was the strategy, that was the plan, to try and get him back on strike. But he was miles down and very annoyed when he got run out as well.
Yeah, and it's why I was quite surprised, just given what we've seen from Kenjige, the way he's
Spinners into play. I'm not really sure why we're checking so many of these short runs, because this is something that's called from the middle. They want to just ensure that we're all good, but suddenly things have suddenly gone nowhere at the moment. A lot of these short runs have actually been absolutely fine. And the clock is just ticking away and nothing is happening. This needs to be a little bit sharper from the boys in the red shirts.
And it's a real painful one for the Mavericks. You can see Jasdeep Singh, bottom of screen, he's just walking around, he's pacing up and down because he senses that they're on top of the game here. They've just gotten the wicket of Singh and pressure's on, but there's been such a stoppage in play. It can just take the life out of your team. The energy. It was clearly fine, well behind the crease. Anyways, seems like we can resume.
I'm actually wondering why he's standing so deep where he is at square leg umpire. Sliding a little bit leg side. I need some binoculars from there.
And they've kept our EDS guys busy. Credit to them. They've been hard at work in this tournament.
Well, most of them. Sorry, boys. No, they've all been very good. Great to see all the hard work done by the crew too, by the way, all the cameras. Now, was there a bit of hand onto that? Oh, let's just throw it around a little bit. I think he's home with that one. I think that's okay. Okay, both ends, I think.
And when last have you seen both stumps being struck in the same play, same delivery? They'll check and see if there was a touch on it. See if the bowler Jasdeep Singh. I think that one could be more in play than the other, even though it was a direct hit, running to the danger, and he looked like he got home. Looks relatively safe.
Bat's in the air, isn't it? Planting it just in time. Yep, bat was in the air. You've got to make sure you slide your bat past that line and also extend the arm. I think sometimes the batsmen are not as desperate as they should be, because that bat was definitely in the air until it got to that position. But he's safe. That's okay.
Three deep on the leg side. You're now joining us after the World Cup final. We welcome you into the days of action. 3 blockbuster games coming your way. It's the last day of preliminary action in the USPL. Mavericks won an important toss and chose to bowl first. So we'll see in about a couple hours' time how good or bad of a decision that was.
Current run rate they'll get at this 7.32 is 146. Those wides are going to assist things a little bit. Need 1 or 2 guys who can wield the willow just a little bit to give a bit of impetus so it gets past that 150 mark, and if they target that, who knows, a good over will take them past that 160, and that'll be quite a good score, I think, on this surface.
End of the over. 95-6 correction for 5. This is why this current matchup is so important. If the Cowboys lose, they're gone. The Mavericks probably won't be okay on 5 points either, so they need to win to go to 7. Top 4 teams qualify, remember. This is the last game. Each team will play 6 matches. Those Carolina Eagles are officially out of contention.
So that means those top 3 who are also in action, it's just going to be seeing where they finish up in that top 4, and it's going to be 1 versus 4 and 2 versus 3 in the semi-final tomorrow.
Gone, and Samadri's been brilliant today. Outfoxed Hamad Azam completely.
That is a beauty. Change of line over the wicket. That has turned some distance and just kissed the outside edge of the bat. Terrific stuff. Low arm action again, hitting that area, just a little bit of disturbance as well. And that is magnificent. What a good ball. Really good. Keep chipping away and picking up wickets at the right time. Just when the batsmen, the Cowboys, are looking to try and expand a little bit, they can't do it. Azam goes for 8, 96 for 6.
Time for a bit of impact. Love the innovation in this year's USPL. Sharanshu Bhatia is in. Jonathan Fu has been substituted out. Fani Samadri has 2 really deceiving deliveries. That off-cutter which he bowled and really gripped into the surface, and the Yorker
And he's got himself 2 for 10 now, 1 ball into the 3rd over, so it's just a beauty, absolute beauty. A little bit of bounce also. I think he's pretty happy with it all, so it's a magnificent ball. Batsman was interested in looking at that finger, but knew he was out and heard the noise and had to go.
Has he got another? Yes, he has. It's 2 and 2.
Samhadri's been unbelievable here. This is amazing work. Now he's got 3 for 10, and he's still got plenty of deliveries left. Keeper's doing a fine job too, it's got to be said. Really good work. This is class bowling, so the spinners are going to play a role today. Samhadri's really turning things on their head here. Again, that round arm action. Holds its line that time. Outside edge, good catch, bit of a deflection. Quite right, they must celebrate the Mavs. Really pleased with the way things are going right now. And another one trudges off. Bhatia, first ball, 96 for 7.
Well, the impact player hasn't really made any impact. Going for none. Here comes Gaurav Grover, and he has to face a hat-trick ball as well. Fani Samhadri just continues to create deception, create problems for oppositions. He's done really well domestically. He surprised many. Hat-trick ball.
Oh, has a dip too, has a dip at it a little bit wider, invites him to go for the drive, but no connection, so hat-trick averted. Would have liked that delivery again. The hat-trick delivery. Oh, big shout for that one. I'd just been sliding down that leg side. He certainly is on a roll. What about this over? WW00. Terrific stuff. Just a bit of pace on that last delivery. This was the delivery after the hat-trick ball, just sliding leg side a little bit. Just pleading for it. But he's got one now. That's the 3rd wicket in the over. Wow, what an over this is. 3 wickets and 3 dot balls. That is just extraordinary. Amazing stuff.
Completely outfoxed in this over, the Cowboys. A couple of times the ball has skid on. He's bowled the leg cutter, and this time the off cutter, and just completely beaten for pace. Fani Samhadri is a star, 96 for 8.
Cowboys 96 for 8. 40 overs.
Samar Tawari. Team is in real trouble in what is, remember, a must-win game for these Cowboys.
Well, they've got themselves in a real tangle. 4 wickets going down for 11 runs. Not so long ago, we were talking about maybe they might get the 140 mark. But suddenly, this has been a real problem. Tries of catch it again, just squirting that on the onside.
What an over that 14th over was. 3 wickets, 0 runs. And Samadri showed the many weapons in his arsenal. 2 different slower deliveries. Pace on as well. What a day he's having. 4 for 10 in his 3 overs. Surely if they last, he'll bowl again.
3 wickets in that last over and no run scored. That was just amazing to see, really was. Certainly wasn't the best batting, but terrific return. All with 96 on the board. Missed out on the hat-trick as well in the over.
Still a lot of time after this. 5 overs to come. Even if they were to get run a ball, that's still close to that 130 mark. Problem is only 2 wickets in hand.
It's exactly how they should be thinking. Bat out the 20 overs. Whatever you do, just pick up the 1s and the 2s. Just don't do anything at all extravagant. Just make sure you try and bat out, I guess, as most of the 20 overs. Probably that's more like it with 8 down. But just dig deep. The Cowboys not looking in good shape at the moment.
The difference between Samadri and some of the other seamers, and not only in this team, in the tournament, he's been very full attacking on the stumps and been consistently attacking the stumps. Others have tended to go to much shorter length and sometimes have not been that consistent. 14 dots out of 18 deliveries bowled. Jonathan Fool won't have any further part to play in this game. That impact sub, unfortunately for them, didn't go their way. Just 1 ball for Bhatia. End of the 15th over, 100 for 8.
A 100 for 8. Quite a stutter reaching that milestone for New York Cowboys. Tajinder got off to a great start, unfortunately run out. Ranjane targeting the right end as well, watching the non-strikers end at all times. It's important. Watch it all times. Hassan 7 of 7. He holds the key for a big finish. He's done that before. A quick odd 30. And Samarth can bat too. Sanchit Sandhu can play the crafty shots as well. He's yet to come. Simhadri continues to be sensational. Pace off with a little bit of movement after pitching. 4 for 10 in an encounter of this kind. Absolutely marvelous.
Yeah, he's been really a phenomenon in American domestic cricket in the last 18, 24 months. And it's the unique nature to his skill set. it's no more than medium pace. It's really actually, if anything, kind of fast cutters. And what you get from him really are two deliveries. I know he'll say he's got probably 2 or 3 more as well, but 2 primary deliveries. The full on-pace, slingy, full-length delivery, that was the one that trapped Oba's PNR LBW, and then the off-cutter, which is really an off-break because it turns considerably. Unique things and unique methods for bowlers to deliver are good in T20 cricket. He's been excellent.
Earned a name for himself in the West Coast, especially in this format. 102 for 8 it is. Let's concentrate on the 8 now. Shot selection has been very poor.
Yeah, what you're seeing here, Suhas, so you get a great shot of him. I'm going to come back live firstly. As this floods into the pad, not out, going to go down the leg side. But what you're seeing in the super slow-mo of his release is there's almost always cutters bowled across seam. That's a spinner's grip. That is an off-break grip in essence. The thumb on. Some off-spinners will bowl with the thumb off, but he's going thumb on. So as it comes over there, you can see it's basically fast off breaks. And as a consequence, he gets good cut out of the wicket.
He's a left-arm orthodox with a slightly longer run-up, but he seems to do the trick. And earning his stripes in the West Coast, first of all, rung by rung, as he grew in cricket.
So again, that is an orthodox. It's not a seamer's grip, it's a spinner's grip. And as he releases, look at the cut he gets in it. He's a special talent, isn't he, Suhas? And just wonder, could he play up the grades? We'll find out in the months and years to come. 16 have been bowled. It's 103 for 8.
Right 103 for 8. Jasdeep might have gone wicketless so far. He's got 1 more over up his sleeve. Crucial. Ronaldo's got 2 more as well. The wickets have come from Ranjane Kenjige. He deserved 1 another. And Simadri has been sensational. 4 wickets and in quick succession with his superb cutters. And what's also working for him, as we did a breakdown of his run-up and the release, is that collapse of that front knee that creates such a low angle that's difficult to loft the ball as a batter. The fact that he runs in, he's got 2 variations in running in as well, sometimes close to the stumps. And something recently that he's developed is to come slightly wide as well. This was poor shot selection, was a pretty straight ball, little bit of squid. And Teja knew that he's only going to get better from there. 2 wickets in quick succession. That sub did not work either. And Simadri finishes 4 for 13 in his 4 overs.
If you look at that package, Suhas, the first and the third wicket were the full pace delivery. So the one that trapped Oba's PNR LBW, that's the full pace, the Malinga-S sort of slingy Yorker style. So that's on pace. Thuds into the shin, going to go on and hit middle stump. The next one's the off cutter. Ishan Bedi or Ravindra Jadeja would have been proud of that one. Then it's the on pace again, feather of the outside edge, and then the cutter to finish. It's quite a simple plan, but my oh my, it's highly effective.
Not in control, but will land safely. Good quick ball, that one. Length as well, absolutely right to get Samarth in a tangle. And one more thing about Simadri and his skill set, Andrew, is the fact that the captains are learning how to use him better. I thought Mavericks used him wrongly initially in this competition in the power play. Now with more protection outside, and at times when the opposition's trying to get a kick on, best time to use him. Picks up wickets. Oh, got into a good position this time around. Hassan's got a lovely swivel to boundary.
Yeah, I think the one thing, I know the Cowboys aren't where they would like to be, but the one thing that they can take some hope from is the performance of Gajanan Singh's Carolina Eagles last night. I know they didn't win, but they dragged that game all the way to the last over with 112 on the board. The Cowboys could somehow scrap up to 135 here. I know it would be a good little counter-attack from them to do so, but with Hassan at the crease, maybe they can get there. And if they could get there, 135 could just be challenging. Obus Pinar will have to bowl a lot better. Still in the game here. It's a virtual quarter-final, remember.
Read the slower delivery beautifully with third man inside the circle. This is one of the most pleasing shots that Hassan's ever played.
This is great reading of the game situation from Hassan Khan. It's come right off the face of the bat. Complete control, and the reason he's played this shot, third is up in the circle. A little bit telegraphed, wasn't it, from Jesse Singh, the off-cutter. Right out of the middle. That will feel ever so satisfying. Cowboys just hanging around, not giving up yet.
Staying one step ahead. Former under-19 of Pakistan. And now that single, because the situation reads 8 wickets down. And still 18 more balls to go. 113 for 8 after 17. Jalad and Tajinder provided a steady start to the New York Cowboys. The wickets were taken from 6 to 12 in between those overs. Wickets at regular intervals is what has cost them the momentum. And then Fani Simadri, a triple wicket maiden. Incredible bowling indeed. With Hassan's few tonks towards the end, the Cowboys are waiting to get some momentum and provide at least 130 on the board for the bowlers to have something to bowl at. Ronaldo. Pace off seems to be the right way to go about it at this stage.
Yeah, just wonder, is this a chance, this over here, and maybe the 20th? It looks as though the captain of the Mavericks, Jesse Singh, is determined to just use the 5 bowlers. And Ronaldo Ali Muhammad has been the most expensive of them. Singh is bowled out, so maybe that over from Ranjani, the 19th, would be one to be cautious against. But this over, the 18th and the 20th, they could be 2 to target for maybe double digits. Who knows, the Cowboys could scrap up to 140 here. These are a critical 17 deliveries.
Had the width, but that extra bit of bounce got the better of Samarth there. And if he can build that confidence in this over, Ronaldo, despite being the most expensive out of the 5 bowlers used so far, then the captain will be very pleased giving him the last over as well. Remember, Samarth is no muck with a bat. He's got a lovely cut shot. But he will not play that if it's that wide. He's better off letting it go.
And the reason Ronaldo Ali Muhammad is running back, they're right under the cusp of a fielding penalty for not getting their overs bowled in time. I think certainly for the 19th, maybe for the 20th, maybe even for the 19th too.
Misfield. That should have been a dot ball. I think it's one of the best in the business, Shubham Ranjane, who's done it. Is that awkward bounce at the last moment? You get bad bounce sometimes, but that wasn't struck cleanly.
Yeah, and certainly that should have been a dot. The outfield has dried out remarkably, given we had, what was 10, 12 inches of rain a few days ago. Sometimes as it dries, it can almost get a bit harder because you're not sure of the bounce as much. But I think this was the fielder's fault, nothing to do with the playing field.
Captain Jesse Singh has told Ronaldo, be quick between the deliveries, be slow while bowling them. Bad bounce there. It tends to sting a little bit more when that single is stolen as it's gone past you. Ranjan is one of the best fielders, mind you, at covers. Oh, this time it's Jasdeep who's put in the dive. Excellent anticipation. From the moment he left the bat, he ran to cover the angle. Timing the run is one thing, and then reducing the pace at the last moment so that you don't overrun is quite another. He seems to be growing as a phenomenon at mid-off. Some superb stops before this. One good catch as well by Jesse Singh, making the Cowboys work for their runs. Had to do something of this sort, and it's come off Hassan's bat brilliantly. And an authoritative 6 to finish the over with. 1-2-4 for 8. $124 for 8. Hassan has taken the responsibility of a big finish after a slump in the middle overs. One of the best timed shots as it came off the bat, and also the situation of the game. For that too. Terrific anticipation. Good slower delivery from Ranjane. Stam decides to go full as well. Samarth on strike is something that Mavericks wouldn't mind at this stage, because Hassan's the one providing the big hits.
And Hassan has come down to him to say, please get me a single. That's all your role is here. It's 85 for 5 when Hassan Khan walked to the crease at number 7. What a knock he's playing. It is the single that he gets, so what can he do here? Almost has to be a touch considerate of the fact that if he gets out, that could be it. They could end up with 126, 130 all out. So if he can just maybe look at getting a couple of 2s here, make sure he has a strike for that final over, go big. Maybe even 150's not out of the question.
Wants to imprint the gaps, not the fielders. Doesn't get it through this time, but off the ricochet, can steal another. Has to settle for a single. That was a very good and quick throw. The captain, I tell you, is setting an example for all the other boys on the field.
Well, this is great anticipation from Jesse Singh at long off. The stop was good in the covers. I think it's Saiteja Mukamala. But Jesse Singh made some hard yards off the ball to ensure it was only a single. Crucially, can't get back on strike.
Just get a feeling that Samarth's getting into a shell here. I understand he needs to take a single to put Hassan back on strike, but if it's a full toss, might have chosen something else to do as well. Very predetermined to have gone for that denomination. If thoughts of 150 have to be entertained at this stage, then you would believe that hits need to come from both ends, not just Hassan's. Third man and final leg up in the circle. Full toss, smash straight down the ground. This is the finish that Hassan can provide. Jalal Dua enjoyed it. Every Cowboy supporter enjoyed it. 133 now.
This is a brilliant shot. It's actually a low risk shot too, because look at how full the face of the bat that he brings through is. You get a great shot of it here. okay, it's a low full toss, but they can be difficult to put away. Your natural instinct might be for your bottom hand, for the right hand, is your right hand to come through and try to hit it to cow corner. But instead, look at that extension. Full face of the bat through, 6 all the way. Can he get a single? That's what he wants from this ball now.
Slower delivery, was waiting to take that single and farm the strike for himself in the final over. 1-3-4 for 8. Maryland Mavericks at number 4 at this stage. They need to win to stay in the contest. They want to go to the 7 points. New York Cowboys, well, they got their first win yesterday. Want to keep the momentum going. Remember, the top 4 teams qualify for the semi-finals. New Jersey Titans are sitting pretty up top with a good net run rate as well. And Phillies United would be seen later today. That's the final game that they have of the triple header. California Golden Eagles as well, just scraping through last moment. They lost wickets at wrong times, but then the final duo ensuring that California Golden Eagles pick up that much needed win last night.
The net run rate for me paints a picture. Cowboys are the worst by a distance. If they can win this game, they are burgling their way into the semi-finals from this virtual quarterfinal. They're stealing in. But it doesn't matter how you get there, it matters how you then go in the semi-finals and final. If they do get in, it will be fourth that they will finish because of that net run rate, unless something extraordinary happens. So they'll probably play the Titans or Phillies United, depending upon who wins the final games. But they won't mind who they're playing. They just won't be able to believe that they've got there. They've almost needed snookers. Such was their position in this USPL.
Kevin Stout read the slower delivery and launches it out of here. Hassan Khan's providing a gem of an innings, and at the right time, the Cowboys believe that 150 is on the cards and maybe beyond.
This is one of the knocks of the tournament. I know it's 46 off 27. You might say, what about the 19-ball 50 or the century from Singh or Gauss? But this innings is so impactful in terms of its innings on the game. Even the blimp wants a look at the action. That's where the production's upscaled. That's better than our drone cam.
Babar's not going to be happy about that, no. Here is 6 more. The blimp is in danger too. What a start for Stout's over.
I got his numbers wrong. He wasn't 46, he was 39. He's now 45 off 21. He's dominated this partnership. It's worth 50. He's on the verge of 50. And the turn to a 6th bowler of Stout, well, it's proven very costly after just 2 balls. These little leg cutters he's rolling out are becoming too predictable. I said 150 a few moments ago. Might be 160 now. You might be thinking of doing maybe a Jaskaran Malhotra, a 6-6s. We've had 2 from 2.
A little bit unlucky there, Stout. But the boundary that he needs has also come by. Now on the cusp of what will be a very, very fighting half-century as the New York Cowboys bring up their 150. At one stage, 130 looked like a distant dream, but not with Hassan believing in himself.
Okay, Fortune this time, he very nearly fancied his chances for 6 more here, I suspect. Fortune, yes, with the outside edge, but what a knock.
Third man's inside the circle. The outside edge is also his friend. 50 comes up for Hassan Khan, and it's a finish of a lifetime for him. And New York Cowboys, in a crucial game, Hassan delivers. 53 or just 23 balls, all boundaries and 6s in this over so far.
Well, this for me, I know I'm prone to a little bit of hyperbole. I get given out to for that. This is the innings of the tournament. The way in which he's turned this game around, it was 96 for 5, and then it was a triple wicket maiden. So it was 96 for 8 at the end of the 14th. Hassan Khan has turned this game on its head.
A very, very rare miss. A couple of days ago, Stout provided one of the best overs. And today, he's been taken to the cleaners. 20 runs of his 5 deliveries. That dot ball would give him some confidence.
6 will get them to 160. A reminder, there is a fielding penalty in place, so only 5 fielders have to be in the circle, only 4 allowed outside. Here's the final ball.
Slower delivery once again, gets it over the infield. Might not have the timing to send it for 4, but 2 runs guaranteed. 1 for the shot, 1 for the throw. And it's a very good innings and a critical innings from Hassan Khan. 55 of just 25. And the Cowboys finish 156 for 8 in their allotted 20. It's game on.
In terms of context and pressure and importance in what is, in essence, a quarter-final between these two teams, that, for me, is basically the innings of the tournament. 55 off 25. It might not be a match-winning one, but it's certainly a match-changing one for now. And if they do go on to win, it will be due to that knock from Hassan Khan. They've turned it all around from 96 for 8 all the way unbroken up to 156 for 8. And there's no surprise that that is soaring. It's a very good year for the Cowboys. It's turning out to be right now.
Sensational finish. 22 runs of the last over, and the Cowboys breached the 150 mark after a middle over slump. Jaladua walks back for 22, and that was a point of concern. Tajinder was excellent for his 46 of 27, unfortunately run out. Milind, Pinar, Jonathan, the middle overs was where the middle order went back to the hut, and Hamad Azam as well very unlucky to be walking back for just 8. Hassan Khan believed that he can provide the finish required for the Cowboys to get to a respectable total. Goes beyond a respectable total. It's game on with 156 on the board. Jalad and Tajinder provided a good steady partnership up top. It might have not been the quickest, but it was a steady partnership, something that the Cowboys would have discussed in the dressing room. But after Jalad's departure to a very straight delivery bowled through the gate, then Tajinder was the one who held fort. Milind, Pinar and Jonathan went back in quick succession, but Tajinder believed that he can string a partnership with Hamad. Unfortunately run out, and Hamad as well fell in quick succession. Hassan inherited a bad scorecard, but belief in himself ensured that he scores 55 at the end of the day of just 25 deliveries.
More gorgeous shots provided to us by the team as Samarth Tiwari, well, he was the Pat Cummins to the Glenn Maxwell of Hassan Khan. Here's the bowling figures. Fani Samadri, without doubt, the pick of them, but is that spell of 4 for 17 going to go in vain for the Mavericks? It had them so heavily on top. This game looked like it was going to be very one-sided at 96 for 8. But the use of the 6th bowler, Stout's over going for 22, and an expensive spell from Ronaldo Ali Mohammed. That's been costly. 156 the Cowboys have.
Maryland Mavericks need 157 in their allotted 20 overs. Can they get there and keep their hopes alive of advancing in the tournaments? We'll find out when the run chase begins in just a bit.
Well, what a finish to that first innings it was by the Dallas Cowboys, who must win today to stay alive in this United States Premier League 2023 edition, match 19. Cowboys taking on the Mavericks live from the Broward County Stadium in Florida. If you missed it, well, you missed an action-packed innings. It started with a flourish of boundaries from Jaladua. Then they bowled very well to him specifically to just spog him down. A few edges. Tajinder Singh batted really well in that power play, but this was the wicket of Dua Andrew Leonard, and this set the pace. What was a very successful period of bowling for the Mavericks.
Yeah, soon after the dismissal of Tajinder Singh, which you'll see in a moment, run out was the key one. Kenjige finally found some form. He was pretty good with 2 for 32. Tajinder Singh batted beautifully though, 46 he made off 27. Did have a life though, a big drop catch, Kenjige trapped. Jonathan Fu LBW for a second ball duck. Singh kept going, but when he was run out, I think it should be the next clip here after this boundary through the offside. It was a massive moment, Tajinder Singh Dhillon, and that sparked the beginnings of a collapse. It was all about one man then, the left arm seamer, Danny Samadri. 4 for 13 he took, with the most excellent spell of left arm cutters and on-pace deliveries. But a fight back led by Hamad Khan. I think it's been, well, might be rich to call it the innings of the tournament, but pretty close to it. Outstanding ball striking, 4 4s, 4 6s, and it's given them real hope, including a 22-run final over of Kevin Stout.
Yeah, massive finish. 53 coming from the last 5. And at one stage you thought they would struggle to even get 130. Well, they've got well in excess of that, and a very competitive 157 for the Mavericks to chase. Remember, they also similarly must win this game. They were only on 5 points. So both teams will have their work cut out for them, especially in this power play, where it seems like it's the most important time to score runs with that hard new ball. This is why this game is so important. The Maryland Mavericks are in 4th. And the New York Cowboys must win because they're currently out of that top 4.
Yeah, it's a literal virtual quarterfinal, isn't it? Whoever wins here will advance to the semi-finals. They may well end up in 4th place, a few permutations depending upon net run rate and the like. But they won't mind, they'll be into the semi-finals tomorrow. It's the final day of the group stages, and this is the crunch clash. It'll be Neil Broom with all his experience to get things going. And I think this is right around par on what's a pretty good surface. Not maybe as good as we saw in the first few days of the tournament, but 156 is going to pose a big challenge. The best part of 8 runs per over required throughout this competition. This chase even. So who's it going to be, Nikhil? I think I'm back in the Cowboys with the way they've fought back. They've taken that momentum in, which I think in T20 cricket in particular, it's always so important.
This was some innings from Hassan Khan. It started with a bit of dexterity, but the 4 maximums towards the back end were critical. You hear teams saying target probably about 5 maximums in the last 5 overs. Well, he hit 4 of them. Out of nowhere, he's recovered his team into a very formidable position. And he will be equally important with his finger spin as well.
1, 2, 3, Cowboys!
Jaladua, well, he's the captain. We've seen real emotions, haven't we, Nikhil, from the owners of both teams in this contest in particular. A highly charismatic interview from the co-owner yet. Well, it set a few pulses racing on social media. He said it so simply, didn't he? Win yesterday, win today, win tomorrow, and win Tuesday. They're the champions. It sounds easy when you say it. 4 on the bounce. But they could well do it. And if they do get into the semi-finals tomorrow, it's going to be all about that innings from Hassan Khan that will give him a chance. Who should we watch with the ball as Neil Broom gets ready to face up? left arm seam of Kulvinder will be important. Who else for the Cowboys could be a threat?
I think Hassan Khan, given the way that he's batted in this game, it's been expensive, but his finger spin, just reflecting on the way that Kenjige bowled in that first innings, I think spin could play a big part as we get later in the day. Now this is a change, not Dwayne Smith. Ravinder Pal Singh, he's only got 8 runs in the 3 innings he's batted. So he's been promoted up the order.
It's also a more natural spot for him, isn't it? It's where he bats for Canada traditionally. But he's found himself left out of Pabudu Dasanayaka's plans in the T20 format in recent times. Didn't play in the recently concluded ICC T20 World Cup qualifiers for the Americas region that Canada rather remarkably resurrected their chances of a first ever T20 World Cup appearance and took that qualification spot despite an 81-run defeat to Bermuda on the opening day of the tournament there in Hamilton. So Ravinder Pal Singh will be wanting to use this opportunity to press his case. Here's Kulvinder with the new ball.
First run straight away. Just one. I'll be intrigued to see how this bowling lineup, who have struggled, the Cowboys, go about things, because you look at Singh, he's been probably their best bowler, the only bowler to go under 8 runs and over in the tournament. Mind you, they haven't really played any full T20 matches yet, so it's been the shortened versions where they've had to try to defend runs. But now that they've got that extra boost on the board, I think they can just use the scoreboard as pressure in what is such a tense but important game. That one held its line, well bowled.
Yeah, this is a left arm seam to a T, isn't it? The previous delivery swung in and very nearly hit the front pad, this time just angled across. And Ravinder Pal Singh, he's a good cricketer, but he has had some challenges, particularly with his starts in this T20 format.
One of the few bowlers in this tournament who can control when he does bring that ball back in and when he wants it to hold its line. That one definitely came back. So it will be a challenge for Ravinder Pal Singh, who likes to play his strokes early, likes to find the boundary.
You always want early wickets with that new ball, don't you? Can the big man find one? Seen yesterday when I was under floodlights, Nikhil, Gajanan Singh's Carolina Eagles very nearly defend that 112. If anything, at the halfway stage, do you make the Cowboys favourites?
Yeah, I think just because of the way that they finished the innings. But what it does tell me is that there's runs on offer, even though this surface now has been used for the 4th time in the last 2 days. Yes, there were times where the slow bowlers got variable bounce, but especially with the harder ball, there are opportunities to score. That one swinging back in again. Good start for Kulvinder.
He's good to watch, isn't he, Kulvinder? Not too sure about the number 999 on the back. We saw Chris Gale sort of trademark the triple digits, 333. He's taken that to a new level. Really hope there's no one out there with a 4-digit number in their back.
Will just be 3 from the first over. Yeah, good start. I think both teams will be pretty happy with that. Sanchit Sandhu's bowled well with the new ball specifically. They'll need early strikes, especially with no Dwayne Smith. You think Neil Broom will be the wicket they'll want. He batted well in that first game for the Mavericks, which they won.
Very cautious start. It feels a little bit to me, Nikhil, like it's the calm before the storm, one way or the t'other. This can only proceed for so long. There has to be runs or wickets coming in this power play. The power play has proved crucial to all successful chases. Have to find a way to exploit it. And without Dwayne Smith, it's not going to be easy. These two need to find some boundaries.
What about the second?
Well, here we go. These are the emotions. And look, at this point, the Mavericks were flying and the Cowboys, well, they were nowhere to be seen. Bhangra dancing coming out, joy, emotion. And now a chance, but it's over the head. He'll be dancing again now with a maximum that goes, well, what, 6 or 8 inches out of the reach of the deep square leg fielder.
Yeah, getting close to that stumps and just trying to be straight, but just missed his length. Got enough on it, Ravinder Pal Singh. That will give him some confidence in what's been a difficult tournament for him. Hit him high up the bat as well, but still was able to get it over. Oh, that is majestic. Much better. 6 then 4.
I told you something had to give. Wasn't going to persist for long, that sequence of dots and ones. It was either going to be wickets or boundaries. Just by a matter of inches, the maximum. The ball before and now followed up. Well, this is a classical cover drive. Good balance, good placement. Yes, it's over pitch. Yes, it's not a good delivery. It's a half volley length. You see it there. But oh yes, that will feel very good to the bat of a man who's been short of runs in the USPL 2023. And instill plenty of confidence into Ravinder Pal Singh. Now, this is interesting. This is not given as a wide, and Ravinder Pal Singh cannot understand why. Nobody knows what's going on out there. I don't think this has flicked the pad. Down the leg side, surely. Well, should have been given a wide. Bemused looks from us all.
11 from the over. 14 for none. Yeah, a lot of batting to come. Mukamala, Kevin Stout, not sure what he's done at 11. Will surely have to come in earlier than that. Ranjani could be important. Govinda, oh, that's harsh. Was that inside the tram line?
Yeah, interesting this angle he's using around the wicket. He's definitely trying to hoop one back in. See from this angle, he's trying to exploit a gap between bat and pad if there will be one. Wants to encourage Broom to drive. That's not the right length, Nikhil. Doesn't have the pace to bowl that length.
Quite surprised he's gone around. Last over, well, the first 4 deliveries from over, and all of them were full, and he's getting visible lateral movement. Now he's gone around. He's clearly been a lot shorter. Well, this surface short, it's pretty easy to hit. That much fuller.
Yeah, this game is very much in the balance. Semi-final spot on the line, remember. Beautiful day for it too, really is. Nickel, you've done a lot of cricket here in Florida. This is a bit more like it weather-wise in terms of what we're used to.
Yeah, and the main thing is dealing with the wind because it's swirling and it's changing. It's been a struggle. Yesterday you saw a lot of catches going down. And that wind had an impact. So, good thing there was great sunshine and no rain around. We've had enough rain for this tournament. There will be questions asked about the height of that delivery. And the arm has been raised straight away. No ball.
Conjecture from both sides. I think they both want it checked. This was marginal, wasn't it? I think Ravinder Pal Singh is trying to explain it was up towards his ribs. And the bowler's saying it wasn't, it was dipping beneath his waist. Will they use the technology? The umpires are now coming together. I think they might have to go up and have a look at this. The catch is clearly taken. We don't need to check that. The question is, was it above the waist-high position without bouncing? And that's the standing position of the batter when it was going by the batter. I think this is a good call from the umpires to use the technology because it's clearly marginal. So it will be up to the third umpire. Nothing wrong with the front foot, that's fine. So Vijay Mallela is again in the hot seat. He's been in the hot seat more than once. Now, which way is this call going to go? It is dipping, it's starting to dip. Oh, that for me, I think that's below waist height. The initial indication from the on-field umpires, which is Avik Gango Padahay and Robert Foster, who was then almost asked to call the no ball, was that it was a no ball. But this could be a folded arms across the chest to change a decision. Oh, he's on his way. And Ravinder Pal Singh is disgusted.
Yeah, the fact that the signal was made straight away and then they decided to go upstairs and check it. I think that's what Jasdeep Singh is complaining about. They made a no ball signal straight away, and then after pressure from the Cowboys, they then opted to go upstairs. And Ravinder Pal Singh is not moving.
But ultimately, the right decision's been made. We don't have DRS in place. This wasn't a review. This was use of the technology that's available, which is to go upstairs for boundary checks, for front foot no balls, for side on no balls. That's in the playing conditions. The umpires have got it right. And I'm sorry, Ravinder Pal Singh, you need to take the walk off. You're gone for 11. We're going to score you out. No matter how much you complain, you're on your way. Jesse Singh, he needs to get on with the game. It's been caught at cover. He's gone. I'm not sure what the hold-up is here. Ravinder Pal Singh dismissed for 11. It's 16 for 1.
Why was the no ball not checked yesterday?
I can't tell you what happened yesterday because I was doing here.
How?
I don't know, I was not a...
Doesn't matter, man. How? Sai. How? There is no review system. How can you review this decision?
Well, real drama here. He is out. Ravinder Pal Singh is out. And Jesse Singh, well, I think he really needs to check himself. You can probably hear a bit of this in the background. He's a national team player. He's a role model for the country.
Danny, how come there's a right?
And now he's arguing with the match referee. These are, to be honest, Nikhil, these are ugly scenes. And this is not the way the game should be conducted.
It was certainly below the waist. A lot of confusion, but in the end, Mukamala is making his way out to the middle.
It's an age-old case as well. It was a full toss. You should have hit it out of the ground for 6. Wasn't a good delivery.
Every day you guys are doing something ridiculous. Every day.
And Jesse Singh is still remonstrating.
There is no DRS
This is not good to see. He's trying to say, you can hear him. He's saying there's no DRS system. That wasn't a DRS decision. It was not reviewed by the fielding team. We don't have DRS in this series, understandably. There's no Hawkeye cameras. Doesn't fit the minimum requirements for the ICC. That was sent upstairs correctly by the umpires to check whether or not it was above or below the waist-high position of the standing batter, which it clearly was below. Real drama here. We've had plenty of it at the USPL. So Teja Mukamala, he's in at number 3.
Yeah, Mukamala got a good start yesterday, and after all of that confusion, would have went on the field, came off, went back on again. Now has to put all of that out of his mind and start over. Took about 10 minutes. Eventful over, to say the least. 16 for 1.
Now, he's going to suffer because what these umpires do, they report. Coming right over to wicket.
That's who's to come now. Here's one for you, Nikhil. Will Jasdeep Singh, the captain of the Maryland Mavericks, will he do a Dexter Sween? Will he use the motivation of a decision which he feels was wrong? We feel it was right. Dexter Sween, remember, was given out obstructing the field last night.
Yeah, this is over the top. And I think he may have done well there. That's going to hurt. Knee just stuck in the surface. But he may have just done well enough. Neil Broom still hasn't hit a boundary yet. He's faced 8 deliveries. And try. That is always painful. Yeah, and you can just sense there's a lot of tension around this fixture because the teams understand how important it is. Both teams pretty much have to win, even if, yes, the Mavericks, who are on 5 points, lose. Likely after today, they won't have enough points to stay in that top 4. Everyone wants a semi-final place come tomorrow. Misses length, and this time Broom will pick up his first boundary.
Nicely played by Broom. Lots of international and first-class experience, the Kiwi. And he'll be just the perfect man to rise above all of the conjecture, all of the nonsense, really, that's gone on from his teammates. It's still carrying on from what we believe. And I'll tell you something, Jesse Singh is going to find himself in trouble, big trouble.
They were 30 for none at this stage, the Cowboys. Remember, they had that big collapse in the middle, lost 3 wickets in 1 over. And the difference maker was when they got the spin of Kenjige in. How long before the Cowboys get someone like Hassan Khan? Another finger spinner. Timed sweetly in the gap for 4.
Really, really nice stroke this. Hit on the up by Broom. Maybe able to hear some further conjecture in the background. All sorts going on here. The fallout from that initial dismissal continues as the captain of the Mavericks is disgusted. And I can't understand why. The right decision was made. Credit to our team of match officials led by Danny Kahn, the match referee. Got it right on the money. And the Mavericks have it all to do.
Look at the innovation. 3 boundaries in the over. This is a huge over for the Mavericks, 30 for 1. Neil Broom, man from Canterbury in New Zealand. Great to have his presence, a former international player. And he's understanding his importance and his role with no Dwayne Smith. Usually he started slowly because Smith has been on the other end, has been finding the boundary. Now, with that wicket lost early, he's the main aggressor. And it's been very intelligent stroke making as well. Too much risk involved.
Yeah, going to be interested to see as to how Saiteja Mukamala goes here. He's such a prodigious talent. Generally had much of his success in the ODI format for USA, but look at shots like that. Oh my. He's 18 years of age, and he's just taken a shuffle outside his leg stump, inside out over extra cover, bang for 6.
Welcome to the bowling attack, Hamad Azam. And this could become a concern. They're well ahead of the rate. The asking rate, that is, which is just around 7.5. They can maximize these 2 overs here and get themselves to 50 for the loss of 1. They'll be well in front of where they need to be to win this game. Already seen that there's runs on offer. This is a good surface.
I really like how collected he is at the crease, how calm he is, particularly for someone so young, so tender from New Jersey. It's such a good sign for someone like Saiteja Mukamala, completely home, born and bred here in the United States. Already shown he has an ODI century to his name. Tournaments like the US Premier League are breeding grounds for young talent like this. One of the things I would love to see even more of is them being given prime roles, a little bit like Joshua Trump has been for his side. Mukamala in at number 3. Raymond Dyer hasn't played yet. Would love to see him get in and get showing what he can do with the bat. So much talent in America.
Could be gone and will be gone. Mukamala dismissed that mid-off. He'll be livid after that beautiful cover drive. Now holds out.
Lost his shape, didn't he? I think he's looking to go inside out over extra again. But the length was shorter. That was the difference. This is a really good length. Look at that. Not full enough to drive. And because he's trying to go inside out, he loses his shape. The bottom hand comes through, and it skews off what's really a leading edge. And that's a celebration of real note. No bowlers like being hit for 6, but he's at the last laugh. As Hamad Mukamala's gone for 6. It's 36 for 2.
Abdullah Malik got 11 yesterday. Has a job for his team. This is big trouble for them because remember, they would have had more depth with Ravinder Paul Singh batting in that middle order. He's promoted up the order today to open. He's been dismissed. Neil Broom, a lot rests on his shoulders.
Well, the game is just hanging beautifully in the balance, isn't it? They're going at about 7.5 and over. They need a little less than 8 and over, but you lose 3 in the power play, you get yourself into big trouble. This was the second one. With Saiteja Mukamala, who did a gorgeous 6 over extra cover. The bottom hand coming through is the problem there. And a simple catch by Milan Kumar. Perfect length, well bowled by Hamid Azam.
$37 for 2.
5 has gone, 37 for 2 at the moment. Broom key in this innings for the Maryland Mavericks. It's quite a good total. They're going to be tracking down 157 to win. At one stage, gee, they were 98 for 8, and they got to that big total.
Getting truckloads of cricket. Abdullah Had Malik, a clean striker of the cricket ball, loves to bat up top. Hasn't really clicked in this tournament so far. But a shot of that kind will make him feel much more confident. Ability to free his arms was gifted by Milan. Malik doesn't miss out.
Yeah, that was the key there. Freeing his arms. The bat swing is terrific. Look at the extension. Magnificent. Really good. Picking that gap in the inner ring, and that just screamed away for a boundary. Over pitched, identified, bang.
He's someone with a clean swing and no half measures as well. Anything in his arc usually disappears outside the ground. Remember watching him in the East Coast where he was hitting 6s at will. Oh, this could be a close call. JD's pleading. Milan still going on. That can attract a demerit point.
I think there's far too much of this going on in this tournament, I must say. Players have got to, captains have got to control the situation. I think what we saw from Jesse Singh earlier was very, very ordinary. And now we're just seeing about 3 or 4 appeals. I mean, that's very close. In fact, I think it's probably out. But you've got to respect the umpire's decision. Milan Kumar is a very experienced player. He cannot carry on like this. Look at that. It's extraordinary. Not out as the call, boys.
Now it's important for Milan to erase that from his memory and concentrate.
I know there's tension in this game, and of course emotions are high. We'll have to come back and have a look at that again. Single off the last ball. 6 gone. 42 for 2.
42 for 2, and the first power play ends. Broom has provided somewhat of a start. 18 or 14 for him. Flurry of boundaries definitely helped. I thought through the covers when Saiteja Mukamala went, this is going to be a good day for him not to be. Immediately back in the hut.
Second look. Let's just get the forensics out on this one and have a close look, because this could be an ordinary decision by the umpire. Let's first of all see what the result is. Yeah, impact is outside. So that is a really good call. It was going on to hit, but the impact is outside. Outstanding decision, and therefore the umpire got it right. So the remonstrating from the players is totally out of line, so well done.
Umpire Avik Gangopadhyay, he didn't have to put up with the antics that followed the appeal.
It's a terrific tournament. It's got a really nice feel about it.
Let's have another look at it up in the air. Probably a knuckleball. but was surely going down the leg side.
Yeah, it's a tidy delivery. There's knuckleball he bowls occasionally. Yeah, sliding down. Talented cricketer, this man.
It's got height and it's got plenty of distance. What a shot from Abdul Ahad Malik. This is why we tell you no half measures with Abdul Ahad Malik. 50 comes up and in superb style.
Just timing, pure timing. That is brilliant, really is, right out of the screws. Didn't try and hit it too hard, kept his shape absolutely perfect. This will give us a nice indication too. Perfect shape, just a waltz down the track, 6 runs. Great shot.
Good adjustment this time around by the batter. Ahmad Azam was bowling an excellent over, barring that 6. 7 gone, 51 for 2. The Cowboys and Maryland Mavericks. Ooh, neck and neck. 53 for 1, the Cowboys. Mavericks at this stage are 51 for 2. They bat deep, both these teams. They bat deep. Quite handy on the field. Loves the fielding at long gone as well. Someone who always claps from slips is now been posted at long gone. Does really well. A quiet single from Broom will keep strike with this as well. 9 gone. Just 3 of Hassan's over. 60 for 3.
The worm comparison almost looks like a bit of tracing's been going on. And this is the area where wickets started to fall for the New York Cowboys. They lost 3 in the next couple of overs. Then it started to be okay. Then suddenly with the score on 96, they lost 3 in a row. That's those 3 knots in that worm there. But look at the uptick right at the end. Now that's going to be really crucial, because if the worm, the black worm, continues on a similar path and doesn't uptick, then they're going to lose. So this is going to be crucial to watch these next few overs.
Over spinner. At a time with the required rates 8.9, this is a brilliant decision to bring him on. Keep the pressure on. He's one of those bowlers who's a little difficult to cut as well. He bowls a very nagging length, which confuses the batter to either rock back on the back foot or go on the front foot.
He's got a nice breeze to bowl with as well. That breeze is coming across the ground from left to right. So he can drift the ball in a fraction and get a bit of grip off this surface. He has the ability to really curve that ball in. It's almost like an arm ball. Consistently bowling arm balls is what we've seen him do in the past from time to time. But if he gets that right and curves it in considerably, then can turn it away a fraction, it's really going to be beneficial. He's a talented off spinner.
Half the ground is under cloud cover. Half of it is well lit. Through the gap, at least a couple of runs for the shot itself. Pinar wouldn't mind this actually, but yes, the clouds are arriving, but only just like a blip. We saw a blimp just a while ago, just passing by. The clouds are subscribing to the same movement.
That was well bowled, really nicely bowled, that delivery. Nice flight from over spinner. Tight over so far. He's got to make sure this last delivery is a good one. They've got to try and dry up the runs and try and get Broom in particular to do something a little bit different. Oh, they're coming for game 2. Here they come, Titans versus the Patriots. It's going to be beauty.
It's slightly difficult to play that shot against Pinar. At the halfway stage, the Mavericks are 64 for 3.
All right, so 10 overs. The Maryland Mavericks is 64 for 3. 93 runs required, 60 balls.
Yeah, 10 overs into the run chase. And it's hard to pick the team that you think is in the ascendancy because it's such a big game. Look at what's happened so far. Neil Broom was watchful. It was all Ravinder Paul Singh until a bit of controversy with that dismissal. And then Broom he's batted well given the circumstances and what they need. Runner ball 26, he's found the boundary. But it's been the selectiveness in his boundary scoring options. That was a big wicket of Mukamala. And then the spin came into effect. A few really nice strokes from Malik. Saw that reverse sweep as well. Then a wicket to fall. Milind Kumar, he thought the batter that it was going down leg. 64 for 3 is where we're at. 2 finger spinners in operation, but things are very tight with the Mavericks having 10 overs to decide their fate. Remember, the Cowboys must win. Hassan Khan. Oh, trouble. Gets back in time. Hello, Andrew Leonard.
Good afternoon, Nikhil. Good afternoon, everyone. Plenty of people tuning in, I know, after the World Cup final. We're going to be delighted to bring you 3 games again today for the final time in the group stages before we get into our own critical semi-finals and final tomorrow and Tuesday. Which side will book its place in the semi-finals? Oh, that's what's on the line here in game number 19 of the league stages. Whoever wins this is into the last 4.
Seen a lot of spin. And Kumar already got that wicket. And Khan and Pinars bowled well. 2 left-arm spinners. They will be under some severe stress. Mavericks owners. But the fact that they've got Ranjani at the crease and a very experienced 39-year-old Neil Broom, you'll feel that they can control this asking rate of 9s. Ball is spinning though. It's gripping in the surface.
And the Mavericks have to keep an eye on the scoreboard. Have to keep an eye on the required run rate. For the first time, it's threatening 10 runs per over. It's beautifully bowled. The difference in pace to Nosh Kenjige with this delivery here. He has tossed this up because he knows that the pitch is slowing up and it's starting to turn. That is left arm flight and guile of the highest quality. And a dot ball to go with it.
Will be a direct contrast to what they'll get at the other end with Pinar, who's much quicker and through the air. More look to get drift. Will be 10th. I wonder when we'll see Kevin Stout. Talk about that in the next over. Just tucked around the corner. They'll take that, the Cowboys. Just 3 from the over. 67 for 3. It's almost like a virtual quarterfinal of this, because even if the Mavericks were to lose this game, the Cowboys go above them. So pretty much both teams need to win. There's no sight of any rain, so they won't be worried about that. Pinar. I think they'll be happy with the 2 spinners in operation here, Lenny, from both ends for the next maybe 2 or 3 overs.
Yeah, I think these 2 left armers will bowl in tandem maybe for the next 3 or 4. Pinar, we saw he learnt, didn't he? Better pace to bowl in yesterday's contest. And he slowed it up equally. Usually bowls left arm darts, doesn't he? They're very rapid in the way they come down. Broom's 27 off 27. That's okay for now, but he has to get going. It's now over 10 runs required per over. And as we've seen, pace off the ball has been much more difficult to get away.
You just sense that something's going to have to give here, because the Cowboys would be very content with just giving them the singles. Even if they get 3 or 4 singles and over, the asking rate is 10. So Broom, who's run about 27, is going to need to take a risk at some stage to try and find a boundary. Not the boundary for almost 4 overs, sorry. Just 1. Oh no. Now they'll get the second.
And this almost goes against Pinar's natural style. His instincts are to dart it in, to bowl really flat. Look at how slow he's going through the air. This was the misfield. Hamad Azam, he's got so much experience, should know better. Could have taken 2 hands to that. Ranjani is battling 10 off 15. Where are the boundaries coming from?
It's gone high. And Kulvinder Singh made an attempt, but could not complete the catch.
Well, I think he's almost intentionally put this down. I know that sounds strange, but the reason why, I think if he held on to it, he's going to run over the rope for 6. So he's decided that rather than trying to affect the dismissal, the best thing he could do for his team is just try to parry it back inside the rope and save 3 runs, only a single run.
Another tight over. Exactly what the doctor ordered. 73 for 3. Now it's almost 11 and over required. Almost an attempt, almost a chance. 29 deliveries now since a boundary. They need to find one. Pressure's mounting here.
Will that be the boundary? It's going to be it. The keeper, the captain, is furious with the angles of his 2 fielders behind square and the offside. He thinks that they've got it wrong. Also, the deep cover sweeper was maybe a bit too straight, and results 4 runs though.
Yeah, I wonder if there can be some consideration from Jaladua to maybe go to an over of Kulvinder Singh. He's been by far their best bowler of the tournament. And yes, they've kept things under control with the denial of boundaries. That looks good. And the finger eventually goes up. That was the wicket, and Hassan Khan has had some day. 55 with the bat, and now that could be the most important wicket.
Well, an outstanding all-round performance from Hassan Khan. I said that innings was match-changing. It's looking right now like it's going to be match-winning. Did it get him outside the line? I think it did. I think he's been given on as much as anything the shot. It's not he hit him outside the line. I don't think it's going to go on and hit the stumps either. But when you play a stroke like that, well, you're leaving yourself open to the finger going up. And you can understand why he's given it. And now I think he's seen it on the big screen. And again, dissent from the batter who's been dismissed. He's on his way though. Ranjani's gone for 15. It's 78 for 4. Supreet Maran in at number 6. And the Mavericks are in big trouble unless Neil Broom can anchor this innings home and get some support from some of this lower middle order. The Cowboys, they're going to have turned it all around in the most miraculous of fashions. They were staring down the barrel of almost certain elimination, not just yesterday, but also today. 96 for 8 at one point. But they've got what we feel is a slightly above par total. And this decision, well, it went their way.
Yeah, and still no Kevin Stout, who batted at 10 yesterday and hit 2 maximums. He's been someone that's been in the runs in USPL history. That year when the Florida Sharks won in season 1. Averaged close to 40, so it's been weird the way they've used him. Maybe Supreet Maran will be more suited for this run chase. 78 for 4.
Wicket.
78 for 4. Yeah, that wicket of Ranjani will really hurt them because the asking rate has been increasing. They would have needed him to stay there till the end. That will be another one. The bowling change works. Milind Kumar straight away. And that, you think, may just be it. Neil Broom gone.
It's an awfully long way back now, isn't it, for the Maryland Mavericks? You talk about momentum and the importance of it. This is a beauty. I think it's the little carom ball. May have bowled him. We'll have to get that checked. Might have just flicked the off bail. Either way, it's bowled or stumped. It doesn't really matter. Either way, Broom is gone for 29. It's 78 for 5.
Captain Jasdeep Singh has come to the middle, and here's why. Well,
the question was this bowled or stumped? back live with you now. We'll get one more look at that in a second. Single for Jasdeep Singh to get off the mark. The side angle is going to tell us perfectly. It's hit the stump. The bails have lit up. Now, did the bail fall off? I think not. I think that is out stumped. And the reason why, the bails have to come off for the bowl to be affected. So another very minor moment of controversy. It's really a sub-note in the book. But I think the scorers and maybe the umpires will have to correct that dismissal from bowled to stumped. Good glove work from Jaladua. He easily could have been distracted by the ball just clipping the off bail, but instead he held his nerve and whipped the bails off to catch Broom short.
Bit of reverse, bit of innovation, bit of effectiveness. Hello, Supreet Maran.
Nice innovation. They're going to need something special. They're going to need a Hassan Khan-esque innings. Doesn't quite get it out of the middle, but gets enough of it to split those two fielders behind square, and he gets 4.
A brave move from the Cowboys to go to Millen. I think that's what actually got the wicket of Neil Broom. He saw the off spinner come into the attack and thought, this is my matchup. Ball spinning in, but probably came on for the left-handed Madan. Just 5 from the over and the wicket. 83 for 5. Yeah, Kevin Stout still to come. Nosh Kenjige can bat as well. If these two can maybe spend 2 to 3 overs at the crease, you just never know. We saw 53 runs scored in the last 5 overs in that first innings when Hassan Khan got the half century. So a change of ends for Jacobus Pinar. Maybe they would have persisted with Khan, who's bowled 3 overs, 1 for 11. That's boundary from Jasdeep Singh.
Well, Jesse Singh is a huge point to prove, doesn't he? He really does. Furious. Utterly furious with the decision earlier. So much so that he remonstrated the reserve umpire with the match referee. Can he get his revenge with the bat in his hand? Starts with the boundary and now a couple more off the outside edge. He can bat as well. Both him and Kenjige very much all-rounders in my book. But maybe the X factor is going to be Kevin Stout down the order. I reckon he'll be next and then Kenjige. That would be the suspicion we have. 68 off 34. Required run rate exactly 12.
I must say I'm quite surprised he hasn't come ahead of guys like Madan or Malik, who are inexperienced. Stout has got 3 first-class hundreds and 16 half centuries, and he's only bowled 1 over, so obviously he's in the team for his batting.
That could well have been a wide if he left it. It was a beautifully flighted off-break the ball before. This time it was the arm ball, which Pinar bowls very well. Every over they'll need 12 runs from, so each one that ticks by where they're not getting to that marker, the required run rate will increase. Fielders flying everywhere with the left-hand, right-hand combination. Plenty of protection on the leg side, just the 2 in the deep and the off. He's going to come around the wicket, so the leg side, you see them there long on, in deep mid-wicket and deep backwards square. Can get a 1 or maybe a 2 into the leg side, but they need boundaries, the Mavericks.
That could be a boundary. It will be a boundary, will be a maximum. Turning out to be a big over this.
They still believe just about the owner group of the Maryland Mavericks. This is the top edge, nowhere near the middle of the bat. Slightly shorter side of the ground though for the left-hander. And he gets enough of it to get 6. Pienaar's had a bit of an indifferent tournament, isn't he? Such a talent, but not showing his very best so far.
Could this be the over to just kickstart this run chase? They need a few more of these. 14 from the over, 97 for 5.
The Cowboys, 156 is what they made. Maryland Mavericks chasing 157 at 97 for 5. Losing wickets at the wrong time and together as well has been the big problem. They started, as the Worms confirm, neck to neck, but then faltered in the middle overs. From 10 to 16, I believe, every over till now, till 10 to 15, has belonged not to the double ends, but the New York Cowboys.
So at the same stage, Mavericks are 3 wickets better off, 3 runs less off right now. So it's neck and neck from the runs department, but the Mavericks have certainly got the upper hand in the wickets department.
I think that shot was on. Third man in the circle. Milind Kumar has realized that the slower he bowls, more into tangle the batter gets.
Yeah, that reverse was a tidy one, that's for sure. It was nice and fine, but it was good work, good scrambling in the region from both the fielders. Certainly saved a couple.
Oh well, again goes for it. Bam, straight in front. Milind Kumar picks up another. Maryland Mavericks, 99 on the board, now lose their 6th as well. It's very uninspiring shot selection, to say the least.
Yeah, that was certainly an error, that's for sure. First time it was on the go, that time slower through the air. Hoping, I think, he was going to do that. Bouncing perhaps a little bit. It was certainly in line. He wasn't happy with the decision, but up goes that finger. One goes for 13, 99 for 6.
Yes.
99 for 6. Kevin Stout. Required rate is touch 12.89. Things are getting trickier. Stout starts to tick, however. Milind has been sensational. 3 for 18 in 3.4, and he's not done yet.
Yeah, it's been good work for Milind Kumar. This is the time, by the way, right now, with 100 on the board, where they lost 3 wickets, the Cowboys, 96 on the board, so things went astray for them this stage. Mavericks will hope it's not the case. That's struck beautifully. Just picked that up and swiped it on the onside for 6 runs.
Yeah, he does that. Jasdeep Singh loves playing the spinners too. even if it's marginally in his slot, he will go for it, not caring about what the surface or the scorecard is saying. That was hit with some authority towards the scoreboard, saying add 6 more.
Yeah, it's a great connection, really is. That gives the score a nice little boost. I mean, suddenly there's a wicket in this over, yes, but now 9 runs from it. Jesse Singh is clearly going to be a very important player for the rest of this innings, and Stout has just joined him, and he's certainly capable.
Good comeback, my Milind. Terrific over as well. What a spell. 3 for 25 in his 4, 106 for 6, Mavericks. .106 for 6, and Milind Kumar has picked up 3 of them. Broom was one of his people. Madan again will be very unlucky. Abdul Ahad Malik is a huge wicket. 3 victims of Milind's what looks like innocuous but very effective bowling.
We've been talking about the fact that they've been neck and neck pretty much from the runs point of view, but now it really matters because they need to get 13 runs and over from here, because suddenly there was that huge uptick. Sankam was magnificent.
And looks like it's going to be a great catch. It is indeed. Milind Kumar it is once again. You can't keep him out of the game. Hamad Adams picked up his second, and it's the huge wicket of Kevin Stout, who had to provide the late revival, much like Hassan did for the men in yellow.
Well, you haven't seen too much in the batting department from Milind Kumar, which is what he's most noted for. He's a very fine timer of the ball and a very capable batsman, but he's done well with the ball today, picking up 3 for 25, and he's staying in the game with this catch. This is outstanding. So he realized at this time he was in trouble and was going to overbalance, released the ball, hopped over the advertising triangle, comes back inside the play, takes that catch, eyes on the ball, and that is OUT out. Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Well done.
You are out, Kevin Stout. 102. 106 for 7. Impact player Khanna comes out. He's got to provide a huge impact with required rate creeping up to 13.3 already. 51 of the last 23 required, with Hamad Azam at the top of his mark. It's a good start. He's got to push for 2. And we'll get there.
Gee, that was whipped off the stumps, that one. So a little bit fortunate to hit it backward a square on the leg side and get away with it. Another look at the dismissal. Have a look at this catch. It's just superbly organised. That's what it is.
And he had to do everything by himself. Quite independent. Oh, this could be catching practice as well. Milind is right underneath it. And he is not in a mood to drop anything today. The Hamad and Milind magic continues.
Well, they need to score big runs. That's why these catches are being presented at the moment. They know they need to get off the bowling because they've got to get to 157. And they're in a tough position at the moment with 8 down. It's exactly the same scenario as the Cowboys were in when Khan played so well, but these are not going all the way. So another good catch from Milan Kumar. Kana goes for just a couple, 108 for 8.
.108 for 8. Ronaldo Ali Mohammed can strike the ball cleanly, but can he score at 14 and over? 49 in 21 is the equation. KK had to go for the big shot. Milan Kumar's waiting for anything that comes towards him. Catches like these are simpler for him.
Just as this ball was hit, he suddenly looked down at the rope to make sure he knew exactly where it was. So that was really good work from Kumar. Good game awareness from him. 2 catches in this over.
And here's the owner, Shan. And this is how the Cowboys are celebrating. Owner Shan is someone who's been organizing dances ever since he started college. Years later, just rekindling all that passion. Finding a new reason, new steps too. I've seen a 15-minute dance video of his where others are going in and out, but he goes on from minute 1 to minute 15. That's the amount of energy he carries. If he can permit that into his side, which I think he has, they're back to winning ways. Slower delivery.
So a couple of wickets in this over and only 3 runs at this stage. So it's outstanding work.
Single for sure. He's got to push for the second. Good work by Ali Ronaldo, who was quicker than expected. 5 runs of that over and 2 wickets as well. 111 for 8.
Let's look at the batting card for the Maryland Mavericks, and straight away you can plainly see the issue. Broom 29 didn't kick on. There are so many guys in double figures. Ravinder Paul, we can go all the way down. Abdullahad, Rahani, Madan, Jasdeep Singh is there at the moment with 16. So many guys in the top 6 that haven't kicked on, and that's a major problem. And Jasdeep at number 7 is left to do the job, but they've got to go at 15 and a half runs per over from here. Tough call at this stage with 3 overs left.
Jasdeep's got to swing and swing hard. He's known to hit big sixes. He's already shown a glimpse of what a 6 can look like. When it comes off his bat, the points table, it's been spicing up with every triple header that we've been having. The Maryland Mavericks versus the New York Cowboys. The Cowboys win this, they'd be at 6 points. Trying to get to number 4. That'll be the plan. Remember, the top 4 teams will qualify to the semi-final.
And that will settle the top 4. Then we'll know exactly what the story is. Then it's a matter of just working out who is going to play who as per the rest of the games. One of the owners.
I think the race for the 4th spot for the semi-final. They can make their own. They can make it their own. The men in yellow. All they need is a win. And the good news is that they're not looking at the net run rate at this stage.
No, that's right. They just need a win and they go to 4. That's what this game's all about. Mavericks are disappointed if they don't get up because the Cowboys will go from 4 to 6 with 2 points. Net run rate is not good. That doesn't matter, but they'll have another win which will help them.
This could be catching practice too. And it indeed is. Hassan Khan, first with the bat, was very effective. Now with the ball as well. The Cowboys. Where's the rope? Doesn't get easier than this. Sanchit Sandhu was waiting and waiting. And there is his gift. Mavericks on the cusp of a very unfortunate result. Ronaldo Ali Mohammed just won for him. 1-1-1 for 9. $111-9, and that's exactly why whenever the men in yellow play, they consider 111 a little unlucky. May that change now.
Catch it, catch it, catch it.
Well, the Cowboys are going to be delighted with the way things have unfolded here. They really do, and they've got to thank Hassan Khan with the position they're in because they were nowhere at 98 for 8, and he played absolutely superbly. That's the last wicket to go down, and again, just regularity of the fall of wickets. 99 for 5 it was, and now it's 111 for 9.
Excruciatingly close to that off stump, and that closed out the game as well.
It's allowed to be excruciatingly close.
Check for the last coat of varnish on that off stump. It's off.
These little singles are not going to get them too far, I'm afraid. It's a bit of a tough call for this stage. End of over number 18, 113 for 9.
Good York. I think this over becomes good practice as well for the games to come. The Cowboys believed they were down a couple of days back, but the Cowboys believed, much like this very script as well. 96 is when they started to stumble. 3 wickets from Pani Simadri, and suddenly they were looking at 96 for 8 from 96 for 5. Hassan Khan believed and got them to a respectable total. Now with the ball in hand as well, the men in yellow have been absolutely clinical. Are they peaking at the right time, much like men in yellow elsewhere? He said it's very simple. We just win every game that we play from here on, find ourselves in the semi-finale, then the finale, lift the cup, book tickets, go back home. Not a team, of course.
Well, they do have to, they win this, they're in the 4, so that's it. Then they're in through to the semis. But they're going to have to step up a little bit because they still need to improve their game. There's certainly some loose areas. Their batting department is a real concern. They were rescued because the other guys, the guys who are meant to get the starts, there were no starts at all. First wicket going down with 36, now 53, 64, 65.
Kenjige cannot connect. Remember, Kenjige can bat, of course, but 39 from 8 after that single is going to be very, very difficult. And remember, Kenjige bailed them out of a difficult situation in a 50-over format in Oman, with Elmo Hutchinson stringing together a very important partnership to add respectability to that total at Al Amarat. But today, with everything on the line, Maryland Mavericks have faltered with the bat in hand. They were good with the ball, but not so much with the bat. Shots were achieved, but no one continued. Broom's 29 being the highest so far. Doesn't really matter how they come. Need more of these.
Yeah, again, not getting that radar right, so he's just trying a couple of things towards the end, and it's not quite coming off. So those numbers are just starting to get a little bit untidy, even though that was leg byes. 3 for 25 he's got now. Milan Kumar also 3 for 25 with his off spin. So one ball left in this spell from Hamad.
Through his legs, dot ball though. 122 for 9, 35 required of the last over. The top 4 teams will qualify for the semi-finals. The Titans, Phillies, California, Eagles, Golden Eagles that is, and then the New York Cowboys. It seems like 6 balls and they'll get there.
The next game, by the way, is 1 versus 7. The New Jersey Titans versus the Patriots. It's an important game for the Titans, actually. Just looking at that table, because they win that game, they get 2 more points, and that'll make sure they stay at the top. And ideally, you want to play against the weaker team, so whoever's at 4, then they'll be up against that side.
It's been a disappointing tournament for the Patriots. They could only score 1 win, and that was against the Golden Eagles by 34 runs. Couple of runs. Chiranshu Bhatia is actually a good fielder, but a bit of soccer within the cricket field does help. I think he's getting influenced by what he sees on the other side of the ground.
So 4 balls to go in this game. Too many runs now to score. We don't want any full tosses above the waist height, but I'm sure that Singh's very experienced and that won't happen. Won't be overstepping either. And a swing from the hip, but just a bottom edge trickles out to the mid-wicket region.
Mere formality at this stage. Kulwinder had to deliver the first 3 in the right area according to him, and he's given away just 3 runs. 32 required from 3. And a single will not hurt the Cowboys at all. Might come back for the second? No. It's an incredible performance from the New York Cowboys. From being down and out with the bat in hand to a late revival, then clinical with the ball. Kulwinder gets with. Kenjige puts it away for 4. It does give him a wry smile on his face. He's a character, isn't he, Kulwinder Singh? But Kenjige loves playing this shot as well. Too much width on offer. Comfortable height too. The outfield's been beautiful today, Mike.
Yeah, conditions are really nice. It's going to incentivize spinners the rest of the day too.
And with that slowest of deliveries, there comes the biggest of wins for New York Cowboys. They believed in themselves, they picked themselves up, and Jalal Dua has found the definition of winning, and may he continue to do so, because there's a lot of entertainment when the Cowboys perform well.
Nice touch, one of the Mavericks owners right next to the Cowboys, just saying congratulations and well done. That's great to see. There's the other owner. There's 3 of them on both teams. They're out. tick them all off. So that's great to see. And the Cowboys stay alive. That's great for them. And we do now have that final four settled. It's just a matter of working out. Well done, sir. Just a matter of setting out where they end up.
Making the fourth spot on the table, their own New York Cowboys. Milind Kumar clicks at the right time. Hassan Khan's amongst the runs as well. They're just waiting for Robert Spinar to pick up the play of the match someday. And this team will look even more dangerous to the opposition with Tajinder in form as well.
Those two guys with the caps, Milind Kumar and Robert Spinar, are going to be really important players in the semi-final. They have to perform with the willow. Most importantly, I'd like to see Pinar used early with the ball also, but they need to certainly make sure that those two guys find some form, because that'll make a massive difference to the Cowboys, because their batting department has been under par.
Handshakes are always great after a cricket game, isn't it? It's been played in the right spirit. That's what it signifies to. Hassan Khan, he was the man with a bat in hand to shine for New York Cowboys. Runs all around the ground. Loved the straighter shots especially. And when Kevin Stout came onto ball, he said, there is buffet bowling.
It's worth just referring to his numbers. 55 off 25 balls. 4 fours, 4 sixes, a strike rate of 220. That was outstanding. But he also decided to have some fun with the ball as well.
And then to the ball in hand as well. Churning out good figures. 2 for 13 in his quota of 4 overs. And picking up 2 important wickets in the shape of Ranjane. One of them being, and the other one, Ronaldo. 29 is the highest, and that's what Broom was able to get after that. Starts were there, but Mavericks couldn't kick on. Jasdeep's 21 goes in vain as well, as by the end of it, he knew Mavericks would be losing this game. The lack of partnerships as well, Mikey.
Yeah, that's just, you just can't win games when you don't get good starts. A 16, 20, 21, 21, 0, 21. Get starts the batsman, you got to capitalise, and Broom, as you can see on the left, was there for some time before he was dismissed. He went with Jasdeep. They finished that partnership in pretty good time, just 14 deliveries, but need the batsman when they get start to capitalise on a surface like this. So have a look at the bowlers. Key bowlers, Hamad 3 for 25, his performance was outstanding. Milind Kumar 3 for 25 as well, so matching numbers from those two. 6.25 runs per over, and Milind Kumar taking a couple of fine catches in the 1 over. So really good work from those two guys in particular, but most of those bowling figures are very tidy.
That's the upshot of the game. 156 for 8 for the New York Cowboys, and Hassan shines with 55 at the right time and comes back without being conquered as well. Tajinder's 46 was a crucial innings up top when wickets were falling all around the place. Simadri picked up 4 wickets for the Mavericks, and that was indeed the changing point, the turning point, because they were stumbling at one point, the New York Cowboys. Maryland Mavericks with the bat in hand were not good enough. Hamad picked up 3, Milind picked up 3, Hassan closed it out with his 2 wickets as well. But despite Broom's 29, Maryland Mavericks were nowhere close. Let's go down to Roshni Chasmawala for the presentation.
Welcome to the USPL post-match presentation for match number 19. A do or die for both the teams, the New York Cowboys versus the Maryland Mavericks, but it's the New York Cowboys who solidify their spot into the semis. I'm joined with Jaideep Singh, the founder of USPL, who will be presenting the Man of the Match award to Hassan Khan for his 55 off of 25 balls, 4 fours, 4 sixes, as well as his bowling for 2 wickets off of his spell. Hassan, being a youngster, stepping up for the team, turning things around to put on that total. The team was 96 for 8, and you and Samarth were able to get it to 156. Talk me through it.
Yeah, I would like to thank Almighty for this innings, and the plan was just to play till the 20th over, and Samarth helped me really well with it.
And that partnership, 60 off of 36 balls, I mean, what was some of the conversation you were having with Samarth, him being an under 21 as well?
Yeah, I was just trying to relax him as much as I can. I was saying him to just rotate a strike and be there with me, and we can finish it well, and that's what he did.
And this hasn't been the first time you've been able to add to the total. Against the Phillies United, you also played a great innings, unfortunately in a losing cause. But do you think this is something of a concern going into the semis where the senior players, especially with the bat, haven't been able to click?
Yeah, but the type of team we have and the batters we have, I'm confident enough that they will step up at the big game and hopefully they'll do good in the semifinals.
Well, thank you so much. All the best for the semis.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Roshni. What an innings that was from Hassan Khan. 50 if I'm not on, then 2 wickets as well. Confirmation coming through. It's great to see for the men in yellow, New York Cowboys. They've got a Q against their name as they finally make it to the 4th spot of the points table to advance in the tournament semi-finals. So New Jersey Titans, Phillies United, and we'll also have the Cowboys in there. Maryland Mavericks versus New York Cowboys. What a game of cricket it was. 26 runs, the margin by which the Cowboys won. Titans would be taking on the Chicago Patriots. That's coming up next. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back very soon.